welcome to another episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I think this is episode 18, I believe. Episode 18. Um, we have a fantastic show in store for you guys.
Say that again.
Fantastic. um, we will have a lot of people pop in today for this big episode of Much to Do About Nothing. Before I introduce everyone, I did want to showcase everyone. Trayvon drew a picture
Oh my god!
that he wanted you guys to see.
Oh my
god!
god!
Look at that! Look at your fantastic four.
Oh my god!
Look at that! Look at that!
I see it.
Man,
it's art.
It is
absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema.
Y'all will like it.
Yeah. I mean, they have no choice but to. No choice but to love it. Beautiful. You know what, Trayvon? I might frame it.
Okay.
I might frame it. Not even gonna lie to you, bro. But obviously we have Trayvon and Joel here as always. Trayvon, what's going on, man?
I'm here. It should be fun to talk about this. I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of things to say. Yeah.
That's always both exciting and terrifying. Those words.
Those
exact words.
Buckle up.
Oh God. Man said buckle up. Good for a show today.
We also welcome in the man that coined the phrase MCU fatigue. The man who made every segment go on a 10-year retreat to try to figure out how to get We welcome in Mike. What's going on, Mike?
You know, I guess I'm just the herald of Galactus because I was telling y'all Doom was coming. And here we are, MCU reboots and whatever Kevin Feige's talking about. But I'm here. I'm happy. It's good to be here talking Marvel stuff. This is going to be cool. We finally got to see Fantastic Four. We waited our entire lives for a good Fantastic Four movie. And I think we may have got it.
Yeah, I would 100% agree there. That's to me, I feel like that's not even to be questioned. That was easily the best.
We still love you, Jessica Alba. Don't worry.
Oh, we do.
I love those movies.
That cast, mind you. Ditch says that thumbnail is amazing. Thank you, Ditch. Thank you, Ditch. We're gonna get that framed, and I think I'm gonna send it out to everybody. You guys hang it up somewhere. Yes, Trayvon, you can hang it in the Nicki Minaj cave. You can hang it up down there somewhere.
We're gonna get Underdog to put it on a t-shirt. Don't worry, we got it.
Ooh, yeah, Underdog, put that on a t-shirt. We gotta start coining that. No, but I'm very excited for this episode. But I wanted to give some time before we go right into Fantastic Four, give Didge some time to get here and Jamie. So we're not well out of Fantastic Four and then circling back to talking Fantastic Four.
Jamie's not coming.
Jamie said she's not coming?
No.
Oh,
she watched the movie opening weekend for the first time and she's not coming.
She's not coming.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. Well, then was waiting for Didge. But I did have a great way to start off this episode. Yeah, Didge said he's coming. I did have a question for you guys. This one I was watching something, and so I'll start off with this I'll start it off. So the question is, if you could revive a TV show or movie, what would it be, and why do you think it failed to begin with? But also, what are some of the things you think could have saved it from being axed, from the jump? So I'll start here, so I'm not putting anyone on the hot seat. So I got this not the concept of the question, but the concept of how something could have been saved. So at San Diego Comic-Con, they did a whole panel, Hasbro did, for their Star Wars figures. And they just premiered their first ever The Stranger, a.k.a. Khmer, from The Acolyte, the action figure. And everyone's excited for that figure. And the guy was saying, if they had maybe dropped that figure right around after that show had ended, it could have possibly built up good press for that franchise. Because I think everyone, regardless if you loved or hated that show, I don't know of many people that dislike The Stranger, the character as a whole. So I'm like, that is definitely a very interesting. I don't think it necessarily would have saved it, but it could have at least given them maybe a cause to pause and a way to figure out how to maybe not make that show so expensive so that you can maybe continue. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with The Acolyte. That is a show. I was talking to Trayvon and Joel. The show got canceled. We know this. But once it gets out of Kathleen Kennedy's hands and maybe goes to Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni, I think what they should do is start with a tie-in comic, and I think they should start with an animated series. And that animated series should be exactly what The Acolyte was promised to us to be. A true Tale of the Sith. Let that cartoon be introduction to not only Darth Plagueis, but an introduction into the Stranger. Who trained him? Where did Plagueis find him? You know what I'm saying? How did he find out that he harnessed this much power? How did he cultivate it? How did he grow it? Things like that lead you right into season 1 of that. If the cartoon does gangbusters, figure out a way to make this show inexpensive to possibly bring it back in live action. Because that was their biggest quote-unquote excuse, was that it's just too expensive, and season 2 only makes it more expensive. So for me, I think that's the best way. If someone in those offices over there actually cares, I think that's a way to do it. I think tie-in comic, and then I think doing an animation for it is a great way to kind of get us back into where it looked like that should have always gone, to where it would have made it a much palatable show than what it was. So that's my pick. Anyone have any thoughts on that? On if that show could have ever been truly saved?
I mean, that's what we thought the show was going to be about when they first announced it. I was like, ooh, where my mind went. I was like, ooh, a Sith know how to use their force powers differently. but I mean, he's still cool. The fights were very cool. He was. I feel like he was the most fun, part of it. The fights that we got from him and the mysteriousness of him, and could they made Saul's thing that he did such a big deal, and when it happened, I was just like, what? It just felt very flat. The witches thing was cool. That was interesting, but ultimately the Stranger was, I feel like, the best thing that came out of that. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they figured out how to do that and show us a real Sith like background show, I think it would have done better. I don't know. It depends. It would have been fun. I would have enjoyed it if they did do that. So
would you have interest if they ever decided to bring this back in any form?
Yeah.
Whether it's a comic or animation or live action.
Yeah. I prefer live action above everything else.
I know
but
yes.
But yes,
I would be interested in seeing that story revisited.
I would.
Okay. Mike, before we introduce AJ in here, were you gonna give a thought on it?
I don't give thoughts on Star Wars. I'm sorry. Good for you guys.
That tracks.
Well,
got it. AJ, welcome in, man.
What's up? What I miss?
So I opened up the question to everyone, and I'm gonna pass it to everyone. The question was, if you could revive a TV show or movie that was canceled, what would it be? And what the fuck was the second half of that question? Sorry. What would it be, and why do you think it failed to begin with? So I started with The Acolyte. I think it would be good if they either did a tie-in comic or animation focusing more so on Plagueis and the Stranger, like we thought it was going to do the whole time, and just kind of build back up the excitement and because I think a lot of people were excited of the idea of the Sith, and then we kind of got something drastically different, and that's where everything kind of just went way left. Before I pass it to you, Trayvon, I do want to say the reason I think it failed to begin with, I think we've already said, is I think what you told us it was going to be, and then what we ended up getting were two separate things. I think you also were selling that show on what's her name from The Matrix, and she dies like 5 minutes into episode 1, and you're just like, oh, well, that was the only person I knew. Like this is the biggest person a lot of people would have immediately recognized. And I think what could have saved it was maybe more fight sequences. I mean, that was probably the best thing it did was its fight sequences, but you really only got I think episode 5 in the forest, and then the very last episode, the last 10-15 minutes, was probably the best fight sequences you got out of the entire series. So, they just, I think they played it too safe, too many wild ass shit, instead of just sticking true to what it should have been from the beginning. All right, enough for me. Trayvon.
The show that I've screened about a long time ago. It's called The Secret Circle. It was a show that was on the CW. This is the first show that came to my mind when I thought about this. It was about this girl that basically her mom died and she had to go stay with her grandmother or whatever. Found out that she was a witch, and then she found the other kids. She found the other like 5 other kids that also were witches, and they were like building a coven. Kind of find out that the circle that they're in, it was like a pact between their parents, and all their parents were like killed and burned alive. It was crazy. It was a crazy show. Like, it was a very good show. It was getting there where basically as they came together, unlocked their powers, dark like demons or dark people were coming to like come get the power from them. It was building to something that was going to be really fun. It was 22 episodes though. I think that was a problem. So it was on CW. I think that was the issue. I think if they condensed the episodes, and because they said that was a problem, it cost too much, and that's always the reason. It seems it costs too much, And CW was definitely doing 22 episodes back then, and if the ratings aren't, high enough for them to do that again, it gets canceled. Yeah, I think it was really building to something. I remember me and my cousin, we were distraught.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you really think
that
one of the problems was that was 22 episodes? Because that's what CW is known for, especially with the Arrowverse, and you have what was the other one? You had Vampire Diaries. That was on CW, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you have all those shows that were like 22 plus episodes, which had multiple seasons throughout. So I'm not sure if that specifically, it might have been, but
I feel like that might. Okay, so for them to say like the ratings were an issue, but also how much it cost, I was like, if like maybe they could have justified it if it was less episodes, so they wouldn't be spending as much money.
Yeah.
So then maybe we could give them one more season to see if it can shake it out. But yeah, like you said, those other shows were 22 episodes. Yes, I admit that. You can also feel it on. That's where you can feel it on the Flash the most. The way that man lost his powers all the time.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to show nothing.
Yeah, that's the nature of network TV. It's just all shows run for like 24, 25 episodes a season. It's one of the reasons why Agent Carter on ABC was significantly shorter. It had the same production budget as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but half the episodes, and you can tell. And so you're not wrong. Like, cutting the number of episodes could have helped. It would just have the same production budget as the rest of the shows. You need the audience for it to justify it, though, because you're getting half the amount of views theoretically too.
I was just about to say, it sounds like the problem really was just ratings. Is that if the ratings were high, they're going to find a way to keep it.
Yeah.
That's where Acolyte went wrong. The ratings were high in the first episode, and then they just started to steadily decline.
But do you also think that's a problem, that most TV shows focused on that like primary rating at first, and instead of like waiting to see if that growth will happen? Because even way before, Spartacus wasn't that like huge as a show, but it like every season like grew and grew and grew. And I just think that I feel like the studios from like CW like had like zero faith in the Secret Circle, which is probably one of the main reasons why I got canceled.
Well,
that hurts me because I don't get many wit shows. That hurt me real bad.
I'll say yes and no, AJ, mostly because it's hard to play the waiting game, right? Because if you're telling a studio, hey, your show week 1 got 1.2 million viewers, their thought process is it should not be a consistent drop weekly. If it's at 1.2 and then it drops to maybe just one, you know what I'm saying, and it
Mhm.
stays around that area, you're okay with that. But if it starts there and then it drops to like 50K, there's not really much you're thinking in your mind you can really do to save this. I think ultimately a lot of things come to, and I've said this, and I feel like only Mike, to a degree, ever only cares about this with me. It's always how you market it. How do you market it, right? If you market it, and then that's exactly what you give, I feel like the fan base will usually be there and they'll be consistent. I think where you lose people is where, for example, when you market The Last of Us to people who've never played the game, that Pedro Pascal is part of this franchise, and then he dies, it makes sense as to why your audience dropped with the episode of him dying. You know what I'm saying? Because to them, it's like maybe they were there for Pedro Pascal because this is the most notable.
Well, I can see that when it like comes to movies though, like the huge value of marketing your stuff. I just don't see that in like TV series. Like you don't really have to market it that much. Most of the viewership is word of mouth, and it's not from strictly the marketing of the studios. Netflix is a huge thing on this. They just rely solely on word of mouth. We all know Netflix has just said fuck marketing. Let's just let the fans just do everything for us. But yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but I
mean,
feel like there's like more to it than
I do that as I mean, one show that I can think of in particular that I literally stopped watching once they killed the person I came to show for. It was a show called Big Sky, and they had Ryan Phillippe. They were promoting the hell out of him being in it. Died the first goddamn episode. I said, I'm done. So I watch this shit no more. Fuck y'all. That's so bad.
I think it's also worth just adding to this conversation for a second how much things have changed, and we still don't have a firm grasp of it either. Because I know you mentioned AJ, you mentioned Spartacus. That was just a very different era for TV, though, because it's a show on a primetime network. It's kind of HBO is like the only network that still can get away with that. Every Sunday, 7:00 or 8:00 you guys' time, there's going to be a primetime show on HBO, and that's just what people do. They sit down, they watch The Last of Us, they watch House of the Dragon, they watch The Gilded Age, whatever's on. They know it's good TV because they trust HBO. And I think Spartacus was the same way. People tuned in, word of mouth spread. The issue with this series is it came out in 2011. It had that 26 episodes first season. And if it didn't have that word of mouth, I mean, that is 26 weeks of TV. And if it didn't get that bump, Arrow came the next year. They go full into the DC television universe on the CW, the Arrowverse, and that's what took over the network. They saw Arrowworks the following year, and they just doubled down on that for a decade.
I will say, to Mike's point, also keep this in mind, AJ. Spartacus was on Stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you remember back then for Stars, there was no Power at the time. Spartacus was easily their biggest show. So you're willing to be more patient because it's really at that time the biggest thing you have. So you're like, hey, we put a lot behind this to work. Let's just see if it actually works. And then it just steadily grew and grew, and they did numerous seasons, and now we're getting a whole spinoff. So I think it's a little different as opposed to if you go to HBO, even though they try to spread it out a lot more now. But if you go to HBO or Netflix, let's take HBO out. You go to Netflix. There's a million things you can watch. There is no everyone come together at 9:00. We're all going to watch Stranger Things. No, if you don't like Stranger Things, you can easily watch Enola Holmes. If you don't like Enola Holmes, you can easily watch, Wednesday. So I think it's just more right at the, immediately you can go to, as opposed to week by week. You might have to be more choosy on which one you're picking.
That's true,
and you have to be strong enough to get that many people to that one spot at the same time every week.
But and that's why so many shows get canceled nowadays, by the way.
Yeah.
Because good shows come out, you don't even know they happened until they already got canceled.
Yep. Very good point. What are you going to say, AJ?
No, that I was good on it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's just important. That's just important. And let's also say this before I pass it to Mike for his pick. Just because people don't do marketing does not mean it's not important. It just means people just don't value it as much. and we start to see.
Oh, I wasn't saying that was
yeah,
important.
That hurts a lot of people. It's not marketing. Like I'm very interested to see how this new Jason Momoa show on Friday goes, because I feel as though I've not really seen enough promotion, and it seems they put a lot of money behind this show.
I only know it exists because of Trayvon.
Right. Exactly. Like I'm saying,
I will be watching.
I will too. It comes out tomorrow, right?
No, Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
One thing I can say is Apple is one of the best that no one talks enough about.
Foundation is a greatness.
They don't depend on the big time IPs to gain audience.
They need one though.
They just stick true to. I don't think so.
Not really.
I think they're succeeding in the idea that people can get quality television and it not have to be something you feel like
okay.
known since you were.
Let me turn around. I want it because they have the money.
Fair enough.
Valid. That part's valid.
I want to see what they can do with it. They got money.
Always use it.
I will say in Apple's case, they're still kind of like that old school, we make good things and people will eventually come. Severance season 1, it felt like it was just me and Juwan who watched that show season 1. Suddenly everybody watches Severance now when we get to season 2.
Right.
And it became like a huge phenomenon, one of the biggest shows of the year. So I think Apple's they're getting their own IP. Like when Ted Lasso comes back, it's going to be huge.
And we know how massive that IP is of Ted Lasso. So I think, like Mike said, they're just one of the guys stuck in the past. It just so happens they got some really great writers over there.
The thing is, Apple can afford to like create their own original IP stuff, so it really doesn't hurt them in a sense to be more adventurous with their products. Whereas other studios, you have to see like what is the biggest IP right now, what is most popular. Game of Thrones. What's a popular one on Amazon right now? You get a lot of video game adaptations on Amazon.
So many.
Invincible. Reacher's definitely the biggest for them.
Yeah.
Right now.
But I mean, I feel like with Apple, I don't believe they're making like a big profit off of this stuff either. Because for one, they start off with it just including it with the phones. Like here's Apple TV Plus, and then now I think it's only $5 a month still, which is the cheapest one out of all of them, to be honest. So it's like,
I don't know. Well, I'll say
can't make that much money off of it with like Foundation. They got to be expensive. So
I'll say this, and Mike can speak more to this, Trayvon. The only reason why I can never comfortably say that is because I think each time a streaming service reports its numbers, they're always lying. There's a reason why Netflix has said at least 5 million times the biggest viewership we've ever received in the history of the world. And it's like, but you said that a week ago when Wednesday came out. It's like there's only a certain amount of people on Earth, dog.
Hey, K-pop Demon Hunters is the biggest movie in Netflix history, dude.
That is true. That is true.
Crazy. They say it for everything, so it's like we don't know. So I'll say this, Trayvon. I think the viewership on a lot of these Apple shows are very high, and they get their money back from it. Like Ted Lasso. If you're paying Jason Sudeikis like $2 million or $20 million an episode, clearly your return is a lot higher, right? To some degree. Or at the end of the day, it just wouldn't make sense to keep funding it if it's not making you money. I get you have money, but it has to make you money.
Well,
what are you doing it for?
Well, last year Apple TV lost about $1 billion.
Yeah, it's not making money.
Go ahead, sorry.
But it has other revenues that can replace that, so it doesn't really like. I would say it doesn't really hurt them in a sense, but the goal is to make a profit out of it. But at the same time, they really don't need a profit from just one specific avenue.
It's like how Microsoft resets Fox.
Yeah, where they have like multiple other revenues that can like offset that one specific error in their revenue, basically. But yeah,
I mean, also to be fair, last I checked, this could have changed after the last quarter. None of the streaming services actually make money.
That's what I'm saying. They lie on their numbers all the time.
So
I learned that a long time ago, and I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Apple's entire game could be, we're going to make quality stuff, but it's going to be on the cheaper side, so we lose the least amount of money compared to everyone else.
No, that's very fair. I mean, look, we know that's how the music business works. It's why people try to get out of music. So it makes sense that it would work in other facets of entertainment. But all right, Mike, what project got axed, movie or TV show, that you wish they brought back, and what do you think contributed as to why it got axed?
You know, there was this movie that came out and it just didn't get its fair due. You know, the director had a vision that they just didn't let come to fruition. They need to bring back the Snyderverse, and here's why. No, for real. Do you guys remember this spin-off show that was supposed to come out on the CW?
Swamp Thing.
Well, Swamp Thing definitely needs to come back. It's probably the better choice. Yeah. Whatever happened to Green Arrow and the Canaries?
Fair enough. Yes.
No.
We spent the entirety of Arrow's final season setting up this spin-off show that just never happened. Why? I need answers.
Wait, does that count as a canceled though, or is it?
No, it was never. It never was.
Hold on, time out. No.
We got a pilot.
You got a pilot. Once you get a pilot,
fair enough.
That's not. It's a pilot within a season.
It's a backdoor pilot. A pilot nonetheless.
Because it means you ordered it, so it counts. It counts.
Yeah, they didn't get. They're the reason they get cut.
Mike, what's your real agenda here? Why you want this show? Who on this show? Let me see. Let me look his cast. Hold on.
Trayvon.
Hold on.
I hate that your mind went there because that might be entirely the point. But still, seriously, I'm not kidding though. This show got canceled in 2020 because of the pandemic, and mostly because of the pandemic. But I think the CW looked at it and they're like, we don't need this. Nobody's gonna watch an Arrow show without Oliver Queen. But we spent the entire season setting up this dumb show to come out. I want to at least get a season 1. We should have at least got a season 1. And then you cancel it.
Absolutely. I feel like I want the other show heard it. They one that they tried to spin off of Black Lightning. What was
that one too?
I don't think I'm gonna tell you exactly what
that came out first though, right? Didn't it?
No, the Canaries one was supposed to happen before the Black Lightning thing. Because remember, once the Black Lightning thing happened.
No, but it happened though. Didn't he have a?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, he had a pilot within the show.
Right.
So, do you guys remember what the pitch of this show was?
2040 something.
It was in the future.
Yeah, it's Green Arrow Beyond for some reason.
Yes.
And I think theoretically this could have been cool.
Okay, yeah.
The backdoor pilot wasn't very cool, but
got it out of it.
No, it was not cool.
I'd never heard of this.
It had a poster. I remember it had a poster.
It did have a poster.
They all looked good. This like the suits are on.
I'll say this. I think the thing that lost me
absolutely not
was something that happened a long time ago, before even the idea of introducing his daughter. I think I always wanted Connor Hawke, and you gave us him in the future, and then you said it was Giggle's son, and then you kind of just retracted a lot of it and then just never wanted to use that character again. And I'm like,
Flashpoint, that's what happened, remember? Flashpoint happened.
If only he was a future Green Lantern.
Right, maybe Connor Hawke would have been a better way to go, just a more notable character. I also think by that point, I was just accepting of they're never going to get the Black Canary right? They either introduced the actual Black Canary or then gave up cool shit to someone else. And I'm just like, but you have the actual Black Canary right there. Why am I looking at someone else do that? It was just a lot, Mike, that made me say, you know what? I'm okay that you're ending. And this is dying with it. That was very much where I was. Like, let's purge CW. Let's get out of here. We're good. We're good.
Y'all remember when Lightning blew up?
Sounds like this.
When who?
When Lightning blew up that time?
Oh no, I was so angry at that point. I stopped.
I laughed so hard when that shit happened. And did laugh harder when she came back. I said, I know y'all fucking lying with this shit right here. Y'all playing. She's like, well, I'm back. I'm like, how? What? What's going on? Boy, they did some things. So what did some
I think where they might have been better off on, where I think they would have really been able to take it up a notch, is if they just gave the keys to Roy. They just gave the keys to Roy, and that was your spinoff. Was Roy and Thea and you doing whatever you're gonna do in Bloodhaven or wherever the hell. I think that might have been better. I don't know. The daughter
just
thing
didn't want to see the three baddies lead a show. That's a shame.
Damn.
No, you didn't convince me with that tie-in episode. I mean that backdoor pilot episode.
Tie-in season.
I was watching and was just like, I can't, dog.
The entire final season of Arrow is setting up this show. It is so ridiculous.
Didn't work. Did not work. Did not work. You know what's frustrating? There is someone on this earth that's like, hey, I heard about this Arrowverse. Should I start it? And there is someone in the corner of this earth that's saying, you should, but I just don't know how to explain certain things to you when you get to it.
I honestly want to rewatch it one day.
The watch order would be so confusing because you have the crossovers happening, but then some shows change different days, and so now the order is different on how we watch the shows.
I definitely need a chart.
Yeah, because I think Arrow was like Wednesdays, then it moved to like Mondays at one point, so that means crossover 1 is in one order, and then it's in a different order, crossover 2 and 3, and then it changes. It's so weird.
I'll be honest.
You know what? Maybe I'll just watch the crossovers. That's it.
I couldn't do a rewatch. I couldn't do a rewatch of the Arrowverse purely off of I can't do Oliver on the Island again. I can't.
How long was he on that? He was on that island for the longest.
He kept going back.
He was on the island for 5 years, and then somehow he went back.
So many flashbacks.
Yeah,
so many flashbacks.
Off the island, and by the end, he was still on the island.
I was about to say he somehow got off the island. Then went willingly back to the island.
That was my favorite one.
Slade was at, right? Whatever Slade was at? In a cage?
Yeah, that was where he found Slade. Yeah, it was the island.
Oh, no.
Wait, which one was the Ra's al Ghul one? Was there a Ra's al Ghul one?
Season 3. Let me tell you something.
Oh, that's probably where I stopped at. Okay. I don't
It's the way they used to play with them, because they were like, you can use Suicide Squad. No, you can't. You can use Slade. No, you can't. I was like, what the hell?
To what AJ's saying, I will never forget the amount of theories I allowed myself to have when they killed Oliver. I really bought in. I'm like, man, who could this go to? Is Roy ready? And then, like, I remember, like, a week or two later, it was just like, no, he's still alive. And it was just like, why?
They didn't even use the Lazarus pit to bring him back, did they?
No,
he just had like a tea. And he's like, we're good now.
Bro, I was so angry. Bro, by the time I met Joel, which was like halfway through, maybe it's probably around like season 3, season 4, I had just accepted that they desperately wanted Batman, couldn't get Batman, and they were determined to put everything Batman in this goddamn show.
You remember when they found they would have mentioned him? That what episode?
Batman?
Yeah. I was like, oh, they said it. They said it.
Relax, Arrow guy. All right, don't get crazy now, dog. Batman exists. Relax.
You know they probably like, can we say it finally? Yeah, go ahead. Finally. Shit.
I do love that when they get to say it, they were just like, hey, by the way, you can say Batman, just do me a favor. Bruce needs to never be there. Alfred needs to never be there. Gordon needs to never be there. Barbara needs to never be there. Dick Grayson needs to never be there. You know what? Do me a favor. Just don't use anyone but the Batman.
Batwoman's world now.
You know what? Now that I think about it, it's actually more safer just to rewatch Vampire Diaries.
Wasn't Batwoman part of the CW too?
She was. Yeah, she was.
Batman disappeared, never explained really.
When I said I was out of the CW verse, I was out of it.
This show actually wasn't bad. I didn't mind Batgirl.
That woman was awesome. I didn't have a problem with that woman.
Shit. I don't know. Okay,
talking about a show that didn't have an ending.
She's gone. She's dead. It's just like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What?
both Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow never got a conclusion. Which sucks.
Nope. All right, Mike. I appreciate the chaos you tried to bring with that. Someone at some point would, and I appreciate that you brought it.
Hey, at least I didn't spend time on an actual pitch for the Snyderverse. Okay, because that was gonna be the answer. That was gonna be a 5-minute dissertation on how to restore the Snyderverse.
This man wants to restore the Snyderverse. One movie into the DCU. Just one. You didn't give it a chance.
I'm be funny. There's a lot of people doing.
We
it
got a
right now.
multiverse out here. If Matt Reeves can do it, why can't Zack Snyder do it?
I'm trying to get Matt Reeves to stop doing it, Mike. Okay? I'm trying to kill it. Okay?
No, don't
I'm
kill
working
it.
hard.
I need it. I need it.
Well, then tell him to work in the DCU, and you can have it all you want.
No, I want it outside of the DCU.
Well, then
And
you go
that,
out.
people, is how you start chaos on this show.
Yes, sir.
Because it does bother me.
It doesn't.
But
I
Joe,
want to cancel because that Joker ugly. Anyway, all right, let's move on. I hate
what
the
would you
Joker
like
look.
to bring
I
back?
hate it.
Does Joker have to be hot? Hold on,
I
we
hate
need to
it.
unpack this.
He ain't
What
got
does the Joker
look like that. It look
What
crazy.
do you
Like, I hated it so bad.
Oh, the Joker look.
Oh, you
Yeah,
hate
so
New
look.
52 Joker, Trayvon. This is
Oh man, I tried to tell him about the new 52 Joker and how that's what I thought they were doing.
Ugh.
Well, you're in for a rude awakening, Trayvon.
Canonically, it's like
They had to do that to Barry. That was crazy.
Damn.
Just know he takes the makeup off, Trayvon. If that helps. At all.
Thank God.
That's not really him. If that helps.
He's ugly
Thank God.
motherfucker. I will say the Joker is fugly.
Joel, is there a movie or TV show that you that got canceled that you would have liked to have brought back?
Yes, it's the Inhumans.
Ooh.
I'm so like that's absolute bullshit.
Okay.
That was
It's not at the TV show though.
It was something.
no, it was
it happened.
They had choice. They did choices on there as well. It was a few things.
choices. All of it was choices.
Then they cut her hair off.
They did a lot of
They did.
it
They
was-
did.
I remember yelling. I was like, wait.
There's a lot of they fucking cheaped out the whole thing. The whole
Wait,
thing was cheap.
Joel, can I say one quick thing?
Go ahead.
The way that show was produced, you can tell Scott Buck had no idea who the Inhumans were. And when the creative
Didn't
came in
care.
and said, "Hey, we're gonna need a budget of like $100 million," he was just like, "Whoa, hold on, you gotta break this down to me. Why? Well, we got a dog that teleports. We got a man who, when he speaks, can literally obliterate things.
Now hold on. They did him well. He came back. Boom.
He did.
Hey,
We got a girl whose hair.
they did him right eventually.
Yeah, we got a girl whose hair can do shit. We got a man who can kind of do shit with water. Like, I think as they were explaining this to me, he was just like,
They're like, you can make the show, but cut her hair off.
You have a
No, he was
merman.
just like, okay. So I get that that's the budget you need. Got you. So what you're getting is $20 million. And here's what you're gonna do. Don't worry. No. You're freaking out. Stop. Relax. I got you. You're gonna cut her fucking hair off. You're gonna make sure he don't say a fucking word. Make sure that sticks. He doesn't say shit. That dog teleports like 3 times. That's it. There you go. There's the show. Make it happen. That's it. That was Scott Buck's selling point.
Whatever it's called on his head. It was like a birthmark instead of an actual.
Right. That was his selling point on the Inhumans. He was just like, do that, $20 million. Let's make it work. And for the first episode, we'll put it in theaters. People will love that shit.
I fucking watched it in theaters. That's what made it even more frustrating.
Oh, you did? It was out in theaters?
It was
It was an IMAX. It was awful.
Shit. God
They're
damn.
lucky that
It
the
was
local pizza shop was next to the IMAX theater, so I got a slice that day. That made me feel a little bit better. That was my first TV review. So yeah, my career launched with Inhumans. It was a great time, guys.
I did review Inhumans, and it was woof. That was bad. Anyway, I think the only thing that really frustrates me about the existence of that show was that was supposed to be a movie, and they gave it to fucking Perlmutter, and they made it a show and shit the bed.
I forgot about his bitch ass.
It was going to be a movie that was going to take place around the time of Infinity War Endgame, and we got a fucking series from hell.
Who do you think is worse, him or Bob Chapek?
Perlmutter was. So he gave me fucking Inhumans. You can say what you want about Chapek, but they weren't Inhumans bad.
Chapek gave us Disney Plus.
Remember, we had Kevin coming out raving about wanting to do Inhumans, and then Vin Diesel saying, "I'll take a break from Groot so I can play Black Bolt." And all of us are kind of like, "That kind of sounds dope. I'm not against that. We really don't need Vin Diesel talking all that much. I'm with it." And then next thing we know, we just blink and it's like TV. It's like, whoa, what do you mean TV show? Yeah, TV show. It's like,
I was so sad. I mean, I truly believed that Vin Diesel was going to be Black Bolt.
I remember that announcement. I was so pissed. I chose not to watch the show, and I still haven't watched the show.
I mean,
I
good for you,
watched
honestly.
3 episodes of that show, and once I got to the episode where she was crying, cutting her hair off, I said, "Yeah, no, I'm good."
I mean, no offense to the actors that got casted, but that's when I knew they were gonna cheap out. They got a whole bunch of TV actors, and again, nothing against them, but they definitely fucking cut that budget bad. It was bad, and you can't do that with those characters in that world. It's just they're too out there for that kind of shit. Anyway, I have 2 choices.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that I actually thought about it, because for a while I had no idea what I wanted to pick. Because there's so many things that I'm like got canceled and probably should never got canceled and would love to see come back. But I'm gonna start with one: the Green Lantern animated series. 2 fucking seasons, all it got, and it should have gotten more, way more. There's so much lore that we never got to see because they couldn't sell fucking toys or some shit, and that was bullshit. That show should have lasted way longer.
Always toys.
It's always toys. That's what fucking got Injustice canceled, but that eventually came back at least. Green Lantern got screwed. That series was fucking good and should have lasted longer. We should have seen more Lanterns. And don't get me wrong, we got to see a lot. But the fact that John never made it onto the show was kind of odd. 2 seasons never got John. They talked about it. They mentioned him, but that's about it. Then you have, and the other option I had was Constantine. After 1 season, they canceled John Constantine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they did that. It was on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it lasted longer. Honestly, it probably for the best because it was on network television. But even so, I think it could have done well. It's probably better off on HBO as a Hellblazer series. But
he did get a comeback though.
He did. Right? He came back during Legends with the Arrowverse kind of brought him back. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. But the series should have lasted more than 1 season. Yeah. I love John and the fact that he looked accurate. He sounded like Matt Ryan did a great job.
He did.
That's fucking John Constantine. So and he did the voice of him in the animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
So his career went off after he became John, even after his series got canceled. So, lucky as an actor, good for him. He was also the voice of what's his name in Black Flag, the main character.
Yeah.
So he was great. Yeah, we saw him in person. He was cool. But yeah, that's a series. I would love to see Constantine come back and done right. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I said, it should come back as a HBO Max series, and they should call it Hellblazers. That's what it should be.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know about him coming back, but I definitely want to have a series.
I mean, I love Matt, but we could go with recast. It's fine.
Yeah, I always like you bring one of those guys back, you start opening Pandora's box. All right, well, Grant can be Flash in the DC. It opens up Pandora's box. I'm 100% with you in Green Lantern, but I will say this: at least I got a semblance of closure when they brought what's his name, Razor. When they brought Razor back in Young Justice.
Young Justice.
I'm like, that felt so good, bro. I'm like, that's really dope that they did that for us. I agree with you on Green Lantern because remember, same thing that happened in Green Lantern happened to Batman. And I definitely thought because of their artwork style that they were going to be where the Batman world at some point.
That didn't last long either.
No, it was 1 season. Just 1 season. 1 season. And look, I appreciate that show because they did what I thought Spectacular Spider-Man did. They just went different. They just went really, really different.
They definitely did.
And I thought it worked out because look, I didn't know a lot of those characters. We just got Metamorpho. I didn't know about Metamorpho before that show. Found out about Metamorpho from that show. I found out that was a whole team watching that show. I had no idea about. So I'm like, I very much appreciated what they did, and I still to this day believe it was the only time we were ever going to get Batman versus. Didn't try, didn't work. So I got to just hang on to that for life. That's probably the only time I see Batman and Slade. So I'm with you there. Was there anything else, Joel?
No, those are my 2 Lanterns, Green Lantern, and Constantine.
All right. As I pass it to you, AJ, I do want to give an honorable mention. What was that show on Netflix with the girl from It, the It movie, red hair? Remember when she was? It was like a coming of age show, but we thought it was gonna kind of go like Carrie, but she had like these crazy ass superpowers. And then it ends on top of like this lighthouse or some shit, or this water tower.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, but remember, it was only one season. But remember, the comic ended there, so season 2 was going to be completely an original story. And I'm like, bro, how do you? No one watched this? Like, I'm starting to feel like Trayvon in that moment. I'm like, you telling me no one on Earth?
I don't know what that is.
I know.
I'm still lost.
I don't even know what that is.
Hold on.
I forget your name.
Wait, say it again. Sorry. What's going on?
No, it's okay, Trayvon. You ignored me, even though I looked up Secret Circle while you were talking about it. And
I'm sorry. There was just look.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'd be confused when people find money and post
slashed
it.
to the screen. He was like, "Ooh."
No, it was a video of someone finding money. I'm like, why would you even record this and show
Sophia
it?
Lillis. That's her name. Sophia Lillis. It was
what
her
was it
show. Oh, I Am Not Okay With This. Came out in 2020.
I never watched that.
That was good. No, it was good.
Great show, Trayvon. And no one gave a fuck. It got canceled. I was very upset. I'm like, bro, she had superpowers and everything. I'm like, this is so freaking dope.
I
man.
saw a few TikTok
Yeah,
clips. on this.
superpowers? Cool.
She had
She was like
superpowers.
It was like Carrie, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. You can really compare
You know
it
they're
to
doing
Carrie.
a Carrie right now.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they're making Carrie. Sorry.
They're making Carrie.
What's a TV show or movie that got canceled that you wish they gave?
One of them is Warriors. For on Max.
They give us a second.
It got canceled. It got canceled, then renewed,
It did.
and then we got a season 3. Thank God. But after that season 3, it got canceled again because they didn't want to make a fucking season 4. I'm pissed. I need that show back ASAP. Never gonna get it though. Very depressing.
That sister was hot, bro. Like, I know I tell Trayvon all the time I don't watch shows because of how hot or whatever people are. But I can tell you, I did grow my love for Andrew Koji. Everyone knows that. That is wildly known.
Mm-hmm.
I grew my love for Andrew Koji because of Warriors.
Yep.
But don't get it twisted. Every episode, I was waiting for that sister to show up. Just waiting, buying my time, bro. God damn, was she a gift to the world. Oh my God.
Calm down.
All right, go ahead.
Calm down.
Go ahead.
Relax.
Go ahead.
My second show is, this is gonna be very controversial, but it's The Sandman. I understand why it got canceled. I do. That show is goddamn perfect. I need a season 3. I need a season 4. I need a season 5. That show is the perfect adaptation. But those are my 2. Sandman.
What was
and
controversial
Warriors.
about wanting the Sandman to return?
It has to do with Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman's a piece of trash.
Yeah.
That's why.
No. The reason why I asked that was it's not bad to want the show to continue. It would have been bad if you said the only way I want it to continue is if Neil Gaiman stays. But you wanting the show to continue, I don't think it's bad at all. I don't think anyone else outside of him, even though he would get paid for it because it's his intellect.
And that's the problem. Many people will like boycott this show because he was specifically.
Right, but I don't think it's bad of you to want the show to continue.
Yeah, I would agree with you, honestly.
I mean, shit, that and American God should have continued. I mean, God,
that too.
They're some of the most pleasing visual shows ever.
Yes, bring back American Gods.
We know why you want it. That man probably couldn't tell you anything else but that gay orgy in season 2.
Oh, you know something else we bring back? We can bring back Sense8 on Netflix. Bring back that as well.
Bring back what?
Sense8.
Again,
the people like me would know what I'm talking about. People like me would know what I'm talking about. Sense8.
I'm not like Trayvon, and I know what he's talking about.
That was a show. That was a show. That was a show.
God bless you, Trayvon. No, I think everyone had great picks. Trayvon's is probably the only one that I just wasn't that familiar with. I wasn't the biggest CW fan before the DC shows.
Oh, okay.
So like
I watched quite a bit.
Girls, like stuff like that. I never watched any of that stuff. So yeah, I didn't watch
Charmed, all that was
Charmed I did watch, but Charmed maybe why do I feel like I watched that on Angel?
The name
It
kept
was
changing.
the WB back then.
Yeah, the name changed.
Oh, then maybe that's what it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
WB.
I consider all that. You know.
It was.
No, you're
basically,
right. It is all the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it was WB, then
Not anymore, but it used to be. Yeah.
then the CW. So you're not wrong, but I think everyone had great picks. I am with you, AJ. I am glad though that Sandman gives us a bonus episode soon.
Yes, very excited for that.
One
That's
more
gonna make me
piece of
depressed.
content to hang on to.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So that's gonna be at least fun.
Sweet.
Free. Oh, see, I didn't really like. I would watch because back then it was like WB or UPS. I'd watch like the Parkers on UPS stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then once it became CW, I don't know if that's when Gilmore Girls and stuff started. I don't know, but I was long gone from Channel 11.
Not too much.
No.
Not too much. Not too much on Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls is.
So there's no disrespect. I'm
Perfection.
saying by that
Love
point,
Gilmore
when that
Girls.
show was a thing. I was long gone.
That was my mother's show. I watched that fucking show religiously because of her. Jesus
And
Christ.
I'll say this, Mike. I'll go
That's a
even
good
further.
show.
There was a channel called WGN. WGN is the first place I found out about Arrow, not the CW.
Oh my
WGN
goodness.
was showing reruns of season 1, and I stumbled across it.
Chicago channel.
Oh, this looks interesting. And I was just like, oh, what is this? And then that's when I slowly started to find out, like, oh, that's not even your show. I'm like, oh,
That's
damn.
the channel that has Salem on it, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Will y'all believe that I didn't even know Arrow was a DC show when I started it? I grew up watching Justice League Unlimited, by the way. That's how much he did not resemble Oliver
100%.
Queen that I was
That's
used
why-
to.
that's why I'm with you. Yeah, that's why I'm with you.
Wild.
That's why I'm with you.
Wild.
I'm just like, oh, wait, this is the same guy? Where's his hat?
But I will say one of my fondest memories is that me and Joel did get to meet Mark Guggenheim and kind of chat with him a little bit. He was doing a Green Lantern comic at that point when
He signed our book.
Yeah, he signed our comics. But that was also, I think, the convention where we saw Kevin Conroy and there was no one in that line. And
He was miserable in the back of his booth. Like, all right, you want?
Yeah, we were just like, this convention must be of like 10-year-olds. How is no one here?
I felt so bad, but I felt so like,
Yeah,
he seems like he doesn't want
so
to be
nice.
here.
We were just like, all right, you guys want to kind of do this together and pay one price. We were just like, Kevin, you're just amazing. Like,
They had him outside. He said inside. It was weird.
yeah. He also autographed photos for us, took photos, like just all around great.
I saw that picture. It's a great picture.
We are getting absolute Green Lanterns. I mean, Green Arrows soon.
Arrow, yeah, I'm excited.
Greatness is coming.
He's gonna be
Absolute
big.
Robin and Batman is going to be so crazy.
I'm very curious.
Are these comic books?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh damn! I was gonna look up a show. Never mind.
Nah, it's comic.
Damn it.
You can read it, Trayvon.
No,
Comics
it's
are
okay.
fun, man. That's where it
If you
starts.
can read Power Rangers, you can do at least one comic from DC.
Dodger Wrench.
Do you read Power Ranger comics?
I do. I buy them.
He's probably Prime. The new
They're
one.
on auto pay.
DC
Right
or
now.
Marvel comics?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's a pretty good comic.
No judgment there, man. Do what you
Not
do.
bad, actually.
All right. I think we've given Dig enough time, so we're gonna start our Fantastic Four spoiler review.
Do it.
And I think Dig should be here soon. If not, I don't think he'll be too far out. So obviously, Fantastic Four came out last week. Mike, I'm hearing them sales. I'm hearing them the money that Fantastic Four is making is a lot of money, man. Just saying.
Hey, if Disney's happy, I'm happy. And Disney's happy.
I don't believe that, Mike. I do not believe that. Did you forget? I watch your TikToks, bro. I watch your TikToks. I see you coming after Kevin. I see you. I'm watching.
Listen, how is this man going to be like, I'm never satisfied with the script, and you've made 37 movies? That's all I got to say. That's just kind of weird. He did say that.
On track, then.
And he's getting old, Mike. Stop holding him to what he says, bro. He's old as shit. Leave him alone, man. All right, leave him alone. You know what's funny? Mike is gonna be the first person that's gonna be able to meet Kevin Feige and guarantee you none of this is gonna come up. Mike's gonna he's gonna be like, I love your vision. It's a great vision, Kevin.
Oh, no, I'd definitely be like, hey, where the X-Men at, buddy?
Well, actually, we got some news on that today. Thanks to I can't remember what publication.
Variety.
But apparently they're starting to cast him. So
Wait, what? I didn't see this. Hold on.
Well,
Y'all can keep
going
going.
to start.
yeah,
I have one specific question.
The cast soon, and they
I've been
want
playing
more young
Assassin's Creed all
actors.
day. I haven't been on
Big
the
thing.
interwebs.
What's the one specific question, Trayvon?
Where the gay characters at?
You don't
They
even know
coming.
what characters you're getting. What do you mean?
I'm gonna say that's what I would ask.
They coming.
Oh! You're saying what you would ask Kev. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the X-Men casting.
No.
You don't even know what characters you're getting to ask that question.
No.
Like, it could be an all-gay cast for all you know. You have no idea.
Yeah, it won't be, but sure.
It won't be, but I'm saying you don't know. Is my point. You have no idea.
Kevin did
Like-
say he was gonna keep Marvel woke, so that's exciting.
He
That's
did
good
say
news.
that.
Nah, that just means it's
Bob Iger called him
Yeah.
after that.
Big
I was
Bob
gonna say
Iger.
what?
I woke. Y'all about to see some black characters y'all ain't never know existed. That's really all that means. Hold on, let me see what Jamie said here before we get into Fantastic Four.
Jamie.
Jamie, have you taken acting classes? For someone who keeps trying to thrust her way.
Listen. If Gal Gadot can be Wonder Woman, give
Ooh,
Jamie a shot.
ouch. Here
Damn.
we go.
Alright,
That's a fallen.
the Fantastic
Jamie
Four.
has some talent now. Come on, give us some credit.
Man said so.
Baby.
All right, Jamie, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
She
Mike,
flew off that bridge. I don't know.
No.
Put Jamie on a wire. She could fly off the bridge just as good. I bet.
She's gonna audition for
All right,
the
man. You
for the
good, dog?
50-foot woman thing, the movie they're making.
You good, dog? All right, guys. Let's get into Fantastic Four. Let's do it.
5.
No, 4. I said 4.
5.
I meant 4. Thank you. All right. So Fantastic Four came out last Thursday. I can't start because I love too much about this movie. I'm gonna start with Mike.
Nerd.
Oh
Right?
gosh.
What a nerd.
Fantastic Four First Steps. What were your thoughts?
It's a good start.
Fantastic Four First Steps is a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. It comes in at an hour, 55 minutes. I feel like it should be 20 minutes longer.
Mhm.
Some characters just don't get enough shine. Like, what is Ben's story arc? There's hints of a story arc, but there's nothing there, you know? And that happens when you have that many characters that are part of your main core, I guess. But visually, it's stunning. It's phenomenal. Like, I love Matt Shakman's direction on this movie. I love that he filmed it like a 1960s production, right? So we're building actual physical sets. Galactus is a physical person. He's not just a CGI monster. Like, we have him walking through miniatures or a cloud, right? He's walking through miniature sets to capture those shots of him crushing buildings. And I think that's actually incredible. The score is one of the best scores in the entire MCU. There's a lot to love about this movie. I just think it has some script issues that we can talk about when we get spoilers. But overall, solid movie.
When we get the spoilers, I'm starting with them.
Hey, nobody said a spoiler warning. I'm just letting you know.
I'm starting
Y'all
with
said
them.
that
Okay, everybody, that is your spoiler warning right there.
If you
Yeah.
haven't seen the
Mike,
Fantastic Four,
To be fair, I didn't say it, but it has been a week. If you have not seen this movie and you come to this podcast, I mean, come on, man. You know we saw it. Like,
First off, welcome to the podcast. Second of all, watch the movie. There you go.
man, if you
welcome
have
an
not
hour
watched it,
in.
turn the phone, go watch the movie. So, Mike, I will redirect it to you if you have spoiler thoughts that you wanted to get off.
We'll get back to me because they're kind of negative. Everything, all my positives, good movie.
All right. Okay. All right. All right, Jamie, you good? You good?
Girl, get some water. Damn. She saw Joy as Johnny's
I feel
person.
like Jamie is only saying that based off of Trayvon Sue. It's the crazy.
Has to be.
No.
It couldn't be anything else. It has to be based off that. But Jamie, you know, it's okay. Relax. All right.
An hour in, she's still thirsting.
We love you too, Jamie. I was just what?
Okay.
All right, Jamie.
I think
That
you are.
was
I think you are tired. I think you really are tired, Jamie. It's okay.
Right,
What?
Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie. Go ahead, you go get some sleep.
Go to sleep.
The vitals still
Okay.
be up. Don't worry.
All right. I mean, that does things for the ego a little bit, but relax, Jamie. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Yes, I do think Ben could have been given a little bit more. But I think they were focusing on what the actual focus was. And when you add a fifth character that now takes a lot of the attention of the movie, it kind of makes it difficult. But I do like that in the time that they had, I felt like no second was wasted. Not often do I think when a movie is short, do I ever think it could have been longer, outside of maybe the Whedon cut of Justice League. That very much, I mean, yeah, the Whedon cut, because I think that was exactly 2 hours, right?
That was a thing.
Yeah, I think that was. Because remember, that was when that organization, the heads over at Warner Brothers were like, to cut costs, make it exactly 2 hours, and it felt every second of just right on the dot. To me, I kind of feel like if the story feels finished to you, I can accept that. And we got a great Galactus battle. If anything, more so than Ben, the only character that should feel slighted is Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer really came in and was just like, damn, I miss home. All right, I got y'all. That was really it. That was done. That was it. So that should be rectified at some point down the line. I don't know if you want to maybe do a series or something, but Silver Surfer deserves more than that, especially when Rise of the Silver Surfer was so heavy on that Silver Surfer. Then you go female and you essentially cut everything of Silver Surfer in that.
I don't feel that.
You said what?
I don't feel that for Silver Surfer.
What do you mean? You don't feel that?
Interesting.
You don't
I don't feel like they cut a. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Let me think about it. I don't. That's not the character I thought about was Shafted.
You told me Johnny, and I named 5 dope ass things Johnny did, and I can only name one dope thing Silver Surfer did.
No, more than one, but yeah.
Silver Surfer did some cool shit.
For me,
That's his surf.
I get you.
From a story perspective, Silver Surfer, the turn happens kind of very rapidly. Like Johnny plays some audio, gives a little speech, and all of a sudden you're willing to die. You don't know what's at the other end of that portal. You don't know where they're teleporting Galactus, and you just dive straight in.
I mean, if she can survive a black hole, she can basically survive everything else in space.
She did say to him, was like, it's just a baby. Like, you could see she was feeling it then. And then he was
sure,
like,
but she basically sacrificed herself to like die for this.
Also, to Mike's point,
save the planet is what she did.
Yeah.
Also, to Mike's point, he kind of played audio from her home world, right?
Right.
As if that's not something she already constantly thinks about. So, I mean, yes, I do get the idea that it was him reminding her of her quote unquote humanity to a degree. Like, hey, we're fighting for the same thing you're killing all these planets for. But it was kind of just like, we didn't see her kind of sit in it. We didn't see her kind of go back to Galactus to maybe plea or things like that. It was kind of just like, he played it and she was just like, I'm going to think on that, dog. That was dope. I'm going to really think about that. And then she just comes back and saves the day. So it's like, it was too neat.
And for all intents and purposes, she is considered dead. You know, because like when Johnny was about to do the exact same play, they're billing it as he sacrificing himself for his nephew.
Right.
So her replacing him is like, well, she's effectively going to die on the other side of the universe. We all know that they're probably going to figure out a way to bring these characters back.
Absolutely.
But it's like her sacrificing herself for this planet just happened in an instant, kind of off screen. Because like Juwan was saying, we didn't see her sit with it and see her come to this conclusion. She just flies in out of nowhere, kind of Deus Ex Machina style.
No one's saying, AJ, that you necessarily had to, but I'm saying I'm not going to ignore that you.
No, that wasn't my
just like, if you're gonna shaft anyone, maybe we don't need so many characters because there's other heralds of Galactus you could have easily used. It didn't have to be Silver Surfer.
I mean, changing the person doesn't really change the story, though.
It really did.
No, they didn't. I mean, same idea. To save her planet, she's here.
You actually got to see her human or her
Yeah, we did.
regular form.
Wait, hold on. Say what you said again, AJ.
I said changing whoever's Galactus' herald doesn't change the story that we got.
Okay. What I'm saying is if you feel as though Silver Surfer was shafted, not you, just if anyone feels as though she's shafted, if you replace her with a different herald, that herald is more looked at as cannon fodder. So it just doesn't matter. Like when I kept telling you guys that the Black Order was shafted in Avengers, you know what the response I keep getting is? Who gives a fuck? They're cannon fodder, right? So I'm like, if you do replace a very important character like Silver Surfer with cannon fodder, then there is no complaints because who gives a fuck? But because we love Silver Surfer,
to be fair, Shalabal is a cannon fodder though.
Not when you're saying it's the only Silver Surfer that we.
But
have.
we don't know that. They never.
I'm only talking about what we know, and what we know is that her husband is not Silver Surfer. She is. That's all.
I feel like Silver Surfer is so integral to the.
Yeah. Okay.
Silver Surfer is so integral to this story arc, though. The Fantastic Four's first battle with Galactus. You can't just replace that with a different herald. You know how many people would flip if these trailers came out and it's not freaking Silver Surfer as the Herald of Galactus?
I mean, yeah, but
like that's a business decision at that point.
I'm saying if you felt as though she got shafted, that was probably the only remedy to it. If you don't feel as though she got shafted, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just saying, when I was having the conversation with Trayvon, he felt like Johnny got shafted. I didn't feel that. I felt as though Johnny was integral to this story. Mm-hmm. Ben, I can agree on, but definitely not Johnny. But if I had to loop someone else in that maybe got shafted, it would be Silver Surfer. That's all I was saying. But yeah, very beautifully done. Mike, I might have to sit back on that on best score in the MCU because I'm feeling like there was at least 2 or 3 of them that I was really in love with. I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen. Because albeit I did love this, I'm now thinking, I'm like, is it?
There might be better themes, but overall scores start to finish.
The score. Because overall themes would probably go to anything Taika did and anything Iron Man 1, 2, or 3. If we're just going overall, but just scores.
Eternals have a great theme.
Eternals does, yeah. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I might have to re-go through it. That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot of music.
Marvel Marathon. Let's do it.
But no, I very much enjoyed this movie. I thought the casting was even better than I thought it was once we heard of the said castings. I do love that Ben finally felt like Ben. That's no disrespect to Michael Chiklis, to which I thought at the time did a great job. But this felt it. I like that the catchphrase was earned. I do know. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Trayvon. You know what I laughed about when I was at work the other day? Someone was saying because we were talking about the catchphrases, and they were like, "I didn't like that Johnny didn't say it," and I'm like, you know why I like that Johnny didn't say it? Is because people think the only way that man can turn on fire is to utter words, as if he's Shazam or some shit. So I like that they didn't, because we know the Russo brothers are gonna put that in the Avengers movie. For sure.
The Russo brothers scared me.
We already got it in Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean,
no. I mean that Johnny, that specific Johnny.
Oh.
But to me, I'm glad he didn't, because there's so many people that believe the only way he can ignite the fire is say flame on. So when he didn't say it, when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, man, I'm noticing he's not saying it. And then by the end of the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad people got to see that he can do all these things and not have to utter words. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yes, I miss hearing it, but I am glad that people now can understand it's not Shazam. It doesn't activate. You can just throw a fireball if you want. So I appreciated that. But Trayvon, what were your thoughts on Fantastic Four?
Okay, so I really did like how it started out where they're already in a lived-in world. Everybody knows them. It's interesting that they're the only heroes, but we let that slide. So it's interesting, that they start like this. She's pregnant or whatever. I like the family dynamic. I don't know. I didn't. Usually I'll be like, oh, where's the powers? Let's get to it. I didn't mind it too much. I was like, it's fine. I like them. They're just me and the family. It's fun. Eat dinner, whatever. I And then here comes Silver Surfer. I thought she was brilliant. I thought she had a lot to do, like the warning, just what she say? Love. I don't know something about take care of your loved ones. Like it's your last days. Get ready, bitch. We're coming.
I mean, it's pretty spot on.
I'm gonna rephrase a lot of things. So yeah. So that was fun. I like that. And then when they went up there, and I'm sorry, I get right to the scene I love the most. Johnny kill her, love her. I was so hyped to hear that. I said, yes, murder. This is what I'm talking about. Use your powers correctly. Anyway, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Well, not really.
You're not, and that's why we all made that face. Like we know he's not joking.
But I enjoyed that. She was like, Johnny, you trying to steal your nephew, kill her. And I was like, I like her. I like her a lot. Yeah, it's funny because Johnny was like, "When I finally meet someone interested," I was like, "Sir, get ready, get together now. What's going on? Like, you're never getting there. Stop." I don't know. I really do enjoy how, how they say, Galactus is practical, how he looked, how he talked. It was just done so well with all the aspects of the movie and like the visuals and everything. Yes, I feel like Johnny and Ben were like secondary to Sue and Reed. That was the story. I feel like those were the two focus of the story for me. Hopefully, we're gonna see them all again, but I did feel that way when I was watching. I was like, okay, they're just there. Like Juwan did point out the thing where he like absorbed all the fire or whatever. I did forget about that. I was okay, yeah, that was cool. But that's the only other thing he did other than the normal stuff. Flying around, shooting fireballs. He didn't do anything. I don't know.
I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, though, about how they weren't using their abilities that much throughout this movie. This movie does the ballsy thing, and this could work. This could not work for some people. There's only 2 major accident sequences in this movie. Like, we have in this second act, we run away from the Silver Surfer. Yeah. And then we have the battle in the third act. I mean, we have a small montage in the first act, but that's about it.
And that's why you see him drain the fire or whatever in that montage. So, I enjoyed that about it, and the stakes, and then I was surprised at how honest he was when they came back, because they were like, "How was it when you beat Galactus?" And I was like, "Ooh," I was like, "What y'all gonna say?" And he was just like, "Well, he couldn't even say it." I think Johnny was like, "We did it," or Ben said it. One of them said it, like, "We did it." I was like, "Damn." They were honest about it. They was like. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just really wasn't expecting to be that honest. I was like, this is a different change that I thought was going to happen here. But he was like, yeah, they wanted the baby. We said no. And then people were like, what? You said no? I was like, yeah, we said no, bitch. So what you going to do about it? And look, then I'm going to say my favorite part of the whole movie. When she walked outside with that baby, and she was just like, y'all are not going to touch me. That's what I got from that. All I know is y'all not going to touch me when I walk out here. And I told y'all in the chat, I said once them little few slick comments, everybody would have been in the water. I don't know. I would have did a super push and just boom, push all you motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that, especially not in front of my building. Y'all got me fucked up. In front of my building, that's crazy. Y'all got me fucked up. It's like
you're not embarrassing me in front of the Baxter building. I know
that's crazy. Like. It's on myself. I don't know what they said. They were like, "Give up the baby." Whatever they said, I would have cleared it. Like, no way. Oh, y'all lost y'all goddamn mind. We are y'all saviors. Shut up. Like, you're not gonna do this to me. I know. That's why I can't have powers, because I would absolutely. There would been a lot of times I would have smacked somebody. But yes. Anyway, and I'm gonna get to. I thought Sue's powers was used. Like she could pick up stuff, invisibility, the force fields. She was so powerful, like to make the ship go, invisible while giving birth. I was like, wow, okay, cool. I was very fascinated with that. And then when she was able to push him, and I think off of her, mothering power, I guess you could say, because that's what it felt like. She was very much down, and that baby started crying. She's like, "Oh hell no, you going to that goddamn portal, bitch." So she did all that. I really enjoyed how she used the powers, and then when she was walking around that corner, it's almost like she formed like I'm a super smack your ass. That's what it felt like when she put that shit around her hand. Like she would come around that corner, whoever it was, she would smack the shit out of him. I love that. Yeah. The main point of this is Sue said kill her. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Little
I'm
things.
gonna try to not get demonetized here, Trayvon.
I didn't say the movie did.
No problem. But you
He's
did
not wrong.
repeat it so many times. I didn't notice until Jawan said it. Johnny really didn't say it at all after all that messing with Ben about his catchphrase. Yeah. And like, think
That's
about
the
it.
meta joke.
Right. But the thing that was so interesting was that the person that no one cared on whether or not he said the catchphrase doesn't say the catchphrase, and the guy that's kind of just telling people like, "Hey, I don't say that." Like that's not
It's
not
from
what
the
I
cartoon.
say.
It's
It's
from
a
the
cartoon. I love that Johnny finally got it out of him in one of the more awesome moments.
He
of the
doesn't
movie.
say it, but it is said.
You said what?
He doesn't say it, but it is said.
Yeah, with the toy.
The toy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Flame on?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, just want to be clear. I never said Sue should have like killed those people. I just said I would have pushed them in the water. That's all I said.
The
No,
publicist
I
called you
think
already?
That's not what I heard. I heard kill them all.
I think that's very smart to clean that up. Trayvon.
I might have pushed some of them hard enough. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think you need.
What was
to
the point in clearing it up then?
Stop. Just stop.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till I get power. So I'm gonna be the first one to watch.
So
I don't even know what to say to that. AJ, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I love this movie. One of the things that I think most of us can agree on is that emotionally it resonates with a lot of us. A lot of your criticisms I do agree with, but I think that was one of the drawbacks. So we can get a lot of those positives in these movies. So you guys were talking about Silver Surfer getting shafted. I do agree with that, but at the same time, I think that was part of the point, just to make Galactus more prominent. And with the few characters that did get shafted, like the Thing, I did think he got shafted a little bit. Johnny, not so much as you guys think, but he's not as important as like Sue and Mr. Fantastic, but like the overall like family aspect of it, it to me it feels more like prevalent within this movie instead of like focusing on every single character. Is more so focusing them as a family and how they function as a unit to like fight other see how they do as a team. Basically, we got I think it was a great like flashback sequences of them using their powers. But not only that, it focuses on seeing them like they work well together, and then them at the end fighting Galactus. It wasn't more so that they were like powerful. It was more so that they worked as a team. They knew how to plan and like work well together to stop a threat, which is one of them like main things that resonated with me. But yeah, I feel like that we will get another Silver Surfer. This wasn't as important. This Silver Surfer isn't as important as Norman Reed. So I feel like that's fine. The more important part was Galactus as the main villain, more so than Silver Surfer. So for her to not be as important in this movie it's fine with me. I understand that it's not fine with everybody else, but it was fine with me just to see how well this team worked to fight off against Galactus. But everything else, I really did like. Mole Man really loved him. He was just, he was just funny throughout, especially when he got under Johnny's skin about his clothes. It was really funny, and everything worked for me. Like you guys said, score, the themes were great. The action with the chase sequence was amazing. I agree with Trayvon when Sue said kill her. She is trying to get your nephew. Yep, that was great. But yeah, overall, it was a fun time at the movies with Fantastic Four.
No, absolutely. I was just stuck on AJ's. She's not as important as her male counterpart. Be careful with that.
He's not.
If he's so important, why did you get his name wrong? That's what I want to know.
That is fair.
Say one thing.
DJ.
Yeah, he might. Yeah.
You say that, but he might also need help him get back. So, you never know. It could be 50-50. You never know. What was I going to say?
She might can come back through it. You saw what she did when they were doing that time portal thing. Maybe she just came back through and left his ass over there.
Just might.
Bye.
Well,
unless he took her powers before then.
He might have. She might just be swinging around there all human like.
So
Joel,
dead.
Yeah.
So dead. What were you saying?
Your thoughts on Fantastic Four?
I fucking loved it. I love that now 3 Fantastic Four movies in, and this felt the most authentic to the Fantastic Four that I can remember. More than almost anything, actually. I mean, aside from maybe the cartoons, like the 90s cartoon. This is, and they stayed to like the I love the aesthetic, 60s aesthetic, and the futuristic 60s look and all that. I dug that, how it was still like old televisions, but like everything, like there was flying cars, not just their car can fly, other cars can fly. Yeah. It was crazy. Technology was like they must have been. It makes sense that they're rich because they probably shared their technology with everybody, and that's why everybody in the world can probably do these crazy things in the 60s. Retrofuturistic, I think is the word I was looking for. But it fit really well with the way they did everything. They did, at least for me, they kept away like how some of them would act until I got to the movie. I got to finally feel how they all, like how Pedro was actually Reed, or Joseph was actually Johnny, and it just you could feel they all acted their asses off in their characterizations of the character. I thought was done really well. Like I felt it in everybody. They all played their part and they nailed it. I dug the shit out of that. The fact that like the rocket ship is like on the fucking bay, right next to the building, like on the building, they're attached to it, right on. It's like all right there, and it's in the middle of Manhattan. There's a launch. It's so dangerous, but I love it like it's right there, and that whole space sequence was incredible. Like honestly, it was one of my favorite parts of the movie was just them going into space, them traveling like at fucking light speed, like it was Star Wars. And ending up finding Galactus, and we get to Galactus, and it's fucking Galactus and not a giant cloud. Was so refreshing. Like it was so good. I loved that. Shalabal Silver Surfer, she killed it. Not gonna lie, she fucking killed it. That all sequence of them running from her was fucking cool. She literally showed her surfing the fucking black hole.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome.
That
awesome.
might be my favorite, like MCU.
I was like, oh my god! I said that was dope a lot. I said that's cool. There's a lot of moments where I just said, oh, that's really cool.
That was probably like the most Marvel comic thing that we've seen in the MCU ever.
That was insane. I was like, oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. I love the whole beginning montage of them fighting crime, and then like celebrating them because at that point it was 4 years they've been the Fantastic Four. So I guess that's why it was a big deal. So it's like an anniversary. That was cool. All the montages to the actual like covers and different fights that they've had. Like the idea that there's a moment into the Subterranea that all happened off like in the last couple years. Fucking hysterical, and I love it. That was great. He was funny as the Mole Man. I did not that I had many issues, but like I agree with the fact that Baby Ben got shafted probably the most in my opinion. Because he did even have a somewhat love interest with, I think her name was Roz, who I found out was an homage to Jack Kirby's, wife. Her name was Roz. So I'm like, oh, okay, I had no idea. I figured, in my head, I'm like, why didn't they just give us Alicia? Like, I don't understand. Just give her this go there with the Puppet Master. I think they mentioned Puppet Master in the movie. Huh?
You know why they didn't give him Alicia.
I mean, they could have still gave us Alicia, but it's whatever.
Also, before you move on, just for the audience, Ben, like Jack Kirby always said, Ben would be, if he was a comic book character, would be Ben Grimm. So that's cute.
That is cute. That is cute. That's why I'm like, oh, okay. That's why I didn't, after the fact, I didn't complain. But I'm like, oh, that's so weird. Why make up a character? It makes no sense. Now after they explain it and why I get it. Totally understand. Most of these, that's why there wasn't a lot of different characters aside from the Fantastic Four, because a lot of them are not coming back. Because of the fact that they'll be in the new universe the next time we see them going forward. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, oh, I don't know how many of these people are actually going to come back and be their characters again, aside from the four. And Herbie, I loved Herbie. Herbie was literally felt like it felt like a droid from Star Wars. The way they used him, he had this huge, like the way he talked, and the guy did everything. Creative. He was doing the crib. He was just building everything. I loved him.
Shout out to Herbie for dropping the F-bomb in this movie.
What the? It did sound like that.
Yeah, when he got scared, he was like, he pushed that button so fast. He was like, oh shit.
Fuck out of here. Oh, they did that whole scene at the end with Galactus was incredible too. Like seeing him walk through oh my god, I've dreamt about seeing him walk through that city. That was awesome. Now I've always wanted to see more than just the Fantastic Four fight him, but I'll settle. I'll settle for that. It's fine. It's whatever. Franklin. I didn't know how much I'd love to see Franklin, but they did Franklin really well. They really did. They handled him well. He was cute.
Nice baby.
As a bit, yeah, as a bit. They put him in there. I figured that he was definitely going to be like the whole point after they once we found out that he was in it. I figured he'd have a giant. He was definitely going to be used moving forward. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Do what you got to do. Man, I'm trying to think. I think that was about everything. I fucking loved most of this movie because I guess a lot of it was the visuals and the way everyone had a kind of role, what they were doing, the dynamic, the chemistry, everything just works for me. It really did.
I will. I guess now that since you're talking about the baby and all that stuff, I do remember vividly there were like the moments at the end where Sue was like laying on the ground. Ben and the baby looked rough right there. When stuff like that happens, I'm questioning like, how does that happen? Yeah, I was like, how does this? Why did they look like that?
It was definitely CGI at that point.
The baby several times looked CGI.
Well, yeah, but that part it was.
Baby.
But that last part, they looked crazy too. Like,
yes, it could have looked neater, but they were always going to at certain points have to CGI that baby.
But it looked just as bad as Sam did at the end of Brave New World when he was standing like out there talking to them.
Well, you see, Trayvon, they ran out of time.
That's what it feel like sometimes at the end of those movies. I'll be like, why did it look like that? Ben looked great the whole the baby did look rough a few hours time, but Ben looked great the rest of the movie. It was just that last part. Focus. And I was like, why it look like that? I don't know.
Listen. Quantum Mania happened. Take what you can get, okay?
Oh, I did have a question for y'all because I don't know much about Galactus like that. The stuff with the tubes on the back of him and all that, is that like normally? Is that from the comics? All that? Okay.
It's a ship he's connected to. Just connected to. That's
I've always just seen him, walking around. Shit, I never seen.
I'd say probably the dopest thing Galactus did for me was once he came out of it and landed in the water, and it essentially
Sniff some
caused-
trees. Yeah, I
No,
agree.
the jumping in the water essentially just caused like a whole hurricane.
Yeah, fucking tidal wave.
I'm like, okay, that
And-
is dope. That is.
And then he
really,
looked at the Statue of Liberty like,
that is really. Cool. You know what it seems like? You know what it seemed like, Mike? It seemed like when Matt Shackman had this vision for Fantastic Four, it seems like Kevin walked in and he just like on the board, he just stuck a photo of Rise of the Silver Surfers Galactus and said, "Focus on not doing that." Like, put all your creative juices into never doing that.
Redeem him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Kevin's such a big nerd. He's a big Marvel nerd, and so like even he's talking Fantastic Four last week, X-Men last week, and the first thing he says is, "We're gonna get them in their comic accurate costumes," because you know he's sitting there like, "You guys had them for like 30 years and they do it. I'm doing it, damn it."
There's two different costumes,
Okay, Kevin.
versions of those costumes.
I completely agree with you because the amount of detail that went into getting Galactus right.
That's where that money went. Like Trayvon's talking about that last scene with the baby and Ben. It's like we had to get Galactus on Earth, causing a tsunami and sniffing the grass. That's where your budget went.
he looked great the whole time. He did look great the whole time. We all went to the port. The whole time we saw him.
And that's a dude in the suit. It wasn't this full CGI in there. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the biggest point of this movie, guys. Obviously, we got the end credit scene. Sue reading 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I will never stop hating Kevin for doing that. I want time to stop moving so rapidly fast in anything he does.
Why does it matter? It's 4 years later in a different universe.
No. That's why I say
get the child
anything he does. I remember watching.
They had to age up the kid. That's
that's the main point.
Years later, I'm just like,
for the kid. It's for the kid.
The kid's 4 years old now.
No, not just this. I mean, just anytime he does it. He just did it in Wakanda Forever. He moves time so fast.
Kind of had no choice.
I guess that's my point of in this universe, 4 years later it could still be the exact same point in time.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. I'm just saying the concept as a whole of him moving.
Oh, you just don't like time jumps? Okay.
Yeah. That's one thing. So obviously it's Sue reading to Franklin, and then she goes to get him another book, comes back, activates her powers, and we see
turns her hand to a slap, ready.
All right, okay. I mean, she's
gonna smack she's gonna smack his ass right outside. That'd been great.
All right.
That's her melee in Marvel Rivals.
Your go-to this episode. I'm gonna need
Is
you to
it?
put that down.
Yeah, literally.
Oh the hell!
There's a slap.
So obviously she goes over. She sees Franklin is with none other than Dr. Doom, who we now know was in fact played by RDJ. I did not think he was. He looked a lot bigger.
It was definitely giving stand-in vibes. Like if that's him, why'd you show his face?
It wasn't him.
Yeah. Well, I get why you don't want to show his face because maybe you have not yet decided 100% what you want his face to look like. Is it like a slight scar? Is it deformed? Like maybe you don't know exactly what you want to do.
I am 90% sure the Russos filmed this scene like 2 months ago.
No, the Russos did. No, Matt Shackman confirmed that the Russos did film it.
Right. So they should know what Doom looks like because I feel like this was filmed during production of Doomsday.
No, you're right. But I'm saying because you're filming Doomsday and it doesn't come out till December of next year, you have so much time. Like, think about it. If you show Doom in that moment and it's a slight scar, and then in Doomsday you alter that at all, it's like, what why? Like, you could have just not shown him.
There's no need to show his face.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's okay knowing that we're going right into Doomsday next year. But I'm just saying his body from the back looked way taller than I've ever known RDJ to be. I'm like, look, buffer. I'm like,
he's crouching. 2, he's probably wearing armor.
It's definitely the Doom armor, I assume.
Yeah, it's huge.
That would be hilarious if it is, because I always assume this might not exactly be the exact scene in Doomsday. So that's interesting.
It's probably not.
Yeah,
I mean, just back to the face thing. Why is he holding the mask if we're not going to show it? That's the weird part to me.
He wants to show the baby, I guess.
No. He's holding the mask for the audience to have because think about it. Think about how confused that audience would have been at the end of that movie. He turns around and it looks exactly like the last time they saw Iron Man. And it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, what am I looking at?
That makes no sense to show his face at the end of that.
I mean, Mike's not wrong, and you could have made it work. I'm just saying I'm not upset that you didn't show his face. I'm not
teasing him with that. Believe it or not, even with him holding the mat, I thought that was fun.
Even if they say it, I don't believe for 1 second that that's actually RDJ.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you there, DJV. They can say
that's the more logical scenario to me, is that it's just not him.
Right, yeah. One thing before we go headfirst into this, our theories on, where Doomsday is going after this. I did want to say, Mike, the one thing that almost had me completely geeking out was when they end the movie at they're on the show, and one of the producers goes, they wanted Franklin to wear this onesie. I thought, Mike, it was gonna have the F for Franklin on it. When it said 5, I was so angry, Mike. I'm like, come on, you could have easily done the F. Why? But then I thought to myself, I don't want to see him in this. So I was happy that they're like, yeah, we're not putting ourselves in that. No, thank you. I'm like, okay.
It makes sense in the universe. It's like they're the Fantastic Five. It makes sense. You still have the rhyme there, you know?
Mm-hmm. I would have been so angry if you wore that shit. But so we did get our look at Doom. Obviously, we think Doom kidnaps Franklin and begins his trips across the multiverse. The first thing I was saying to Joel was, so the immediate thought was Doom kidnaps, goes on his way, right? The thing I said, Mike, was I always thought the obvious at the end of Thunderbolts is that's a Fantastic Four in that shit, right? That's the obvious.
Mm.
I was saying that wasn't that obvious to me. And I think the argument me and Joel had was, I am convinced, and it will take seeing Doomsday for me to be convinced otherwise. I'm convinced that Doom that we saw at the end is the Doom of that universe. Because to me, you don't go through showing us the Latveria card and how the seat's empty, and then we see Doom at the end, and I'm not supposed to think it's the same Doom. Why go through all that trouble? Like, why show me that at all, and then say, yeah, the seat was empty, and then we give you a Doom, but it's not that Doom. Why? Am I wrong for thinking that, Mike?
No, that makes perfect sense. That's what I've been thinking the entire time. Like, yeah.
Okay.
4 from a different universe, Doom from a different universe. They'd be from the same universe.
Right, yeah. I mean,
especially because something that's so important to the character of Dr. Doom is his relationship to these characters.
Right.
And so I'm surprised Doom didn't have a bigger role in this movie, honestly, or at least a speaking role in this post-credit scene, because you need to set up that relationship. Like, it's just strange to me that we're going into Doomsday and Secret Wars and we've never seen Doom and Reed interact before. Right. You know, so at least you can have the implied history of they're from the same world, they already know each other type thing. That helps a little bit.
I did hear, I think it was Eric Voss, I think that's what I heard say. I did hear him say that he thinks it's unlikely that Doom is from that universe, because when Reed was talking about all the preparations he's making for his ops, he never once mentioned Victor Von Doom. And it's like, well, why wouldn't you mention arguably your biggest foe if he's been your foe for the last 4 years?
Maybe he hasn't been an op for the last 4 years.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm saying he probably has not been active. That's why he's not been Dr. Doom to this universe. But it doesn't mean that a Dr. Doom does not exist.
Make sure we saw Latveria, I'll tell you that.
Well, I was about to ask you guys, either one of you guys disagree with me and Mike's standpoint? Do you guys think he's from a different universe? Or you have the mindset of, you went through all that trouble to show us Latveria and that seat empty. Why would you then try to tell me he's from a different universe? Like, I don't, like, because it would only be for us. Because if you don't know Fantastic Four, you seeing that seat empty means absolutely nothing to you. So I kind of feel like you showing that seat empty is for the comic book fans, but why show us the seat empty and then give us a Doom and then say that's not the same Doom? It's like, well, then you could have.
They showed us Latveria like at least 3 times in this movie. They made sure we saw it. So
every time we were in that building, we saw the shot.
It was boom.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So we're all on the same page that we think he's from the same universe.
it
Yes.
should be. If he isn't, it doesn't make sense why they kept showing us that.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like in that universe, Doom is more so like a he who must not be named type of character,
Right.
and
Okay.
that's why they didn't like say his name or anything like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll also go to this. We heard this rumor. I don't remember who it was from, but it has something to do with what we're talking about. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. We did hear the rumor that there was maybe some thoughts of keeping RDJ as Doom going forward. But the reason why I would be vehemently against that is, like Mike said, you didn't do anything in this movie to set up the fact that those two even know each other, right? So it's like heading into Doomsday and then going forward, it's like, I don't think Doomsday is what should build the tension between the two. I don't think you should give me a new reality where you're like, they've hated each other this entire time. Because there's a way easier way you could have done that by just planting seeds in this movie, even if you didn't want to give him a bigger role or a speaking role. Just have Reed mention the fact that, yeah, I do have a nemesis, and it is Victor Von Doom. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that just goes into what I was saying earlier. Like what I said, that he is more so the he who should not be named type of character, can go into like a story arc of Reed and Doom's rivalry. Like maybe something happened so bad that Reed chose to just ignore his existence or anything of the sort.
Or he thinks he's dead.
That too.
Could think he's dead. I mean, look, you know what's very interesting, Mike, is that, and this is why I'm like, sometimes I like to give the Russos a lot of credit, but sometimes I'm like, maybe it's too soon to do that. We got to see how things kind of like fizzle out. But if I'm to go off of they created the concept for this end credit scene, there is a big reason as to why it's just Sue. It's just Sue in there. It's not Sue and Reed. It's not Reed. It was Sue specifically. And you never see Sue's reaction to seeing it, right? So I'm like, maybe there are seeds that have already been planted. We just don't know yet. But for me, I can't fathom any other way you tell me this story outside of him being from that same universe. Like I can't comprehend it. I just can't. Now, if you ignored all the various, like if you didn't have any of that in there, and you just went without acknowledging that at all, then I could say, yeah, all right, well then, yeah, what's the issue with him being from a different universe? But because you tried so hard to make sure we understood that it existed, that's all I'm saying. What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna ask, did Kevin say that this could be potentially a different universe's Doom? Because there's no multiverse shenanigans in this movie. You know, like everything's contained to 828.
Talk about it a lot. You do hear him talk about it and theorize about the idea of it. Okay. But no, I have not heard from Kevin's lips that this is a different universe, but I've also not heard him confirm that it is from the same universe.
Well, I guess my thing is context is very important in this situation. Like, since there's no hint of multiverse outside of the number at the beginning of the movie telling you that we're in a different timeline, there's no reason to believe that an alternate version of any character would show up. So like Doom is just Doom in this universe until proven otherwise. Right. That's why I'm like, what would lead to that line of thinking of this not being from this universe? You know?
I'm with you. Yep, I'm with you. And Joel, you feel the same, right?
About
that all signs point that he's from this universe.
I like to think so, especially based on how they represented Latveria in the movie. I never liked the idea of him being from a different. I just feel like it's unnecessarily complicated. So like, why? You know, like you could do that, but why? You know, it's right there. It's in the Fantastic Four. It just makes sense that he's from A. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how Doomsday plays itself out. Because to me, one thing I will say, they maybe have to stop talking to the cast members of this movie, because they're starting to give us too many breadcrumbs that immediately make me want to start connecting said breadcrumbs. Like when you hear things like Kevin come out and confirm, like, Yeah, you see how big this couch is. Yeah, you'll see the Avengers playing around here in the Fantastic Four's world, and it's like, I maybe didn't need to know that. Maybe, a trailer maybe would have been good to find that out for the first time. I thought we were done. I thought this was the introduction of this universe. We're done. Like, that movie is starting with them chasing. Like, we're not really there. But to know that at some point they leave there and then they come back is very intriguing to me of the why. You know what I'm saying? So it is really interesting. I will say this, though. This is going to shock you, guys. Doom was never a thought in my mind as an end credit scene. I always thought that end credit scene was going to be one thing. I thought when she left Franklin and came back and Franklin wasn't still on that couch, I thought he found a way to age himself up. That was the first immediate thought I had was, oh shit, they casted someone big to be older Franklin. And when you see Doom, I was just like, oh no, that makes way more sense. Okay, we're not there yet. Like, okay, phew. Like, that was the immediate thought that I had. So I was very glad that I was not correct here. But that was always my going theory is that, oh, we're gonna see Franklin older. He's not gonna be a baby this whole time. Little did I know, he did get older, just not as old as I thought he was gonna get. Was there anything else from this end credit scene or this movie at all that we didn't cover? No. Any more Doomsday thoughts? Anything?
Doom.
No, I just wanna get to it at this point.
All right. Okay. Let's see. No, I don't want to talk about how much money Robert Downey Jr. has made. Okay, so let's
Boring.
Too much money for what it's worth.
Yeah, let's get into some of these variety news pinpoints. That would have been wild and amazing. But imagine as a parent, you leave a room and come back, and your whole child ages like 20 years. He will at some point age himself up, I believe, between now and Secret Wars. I wholeheartedly believe that. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. So Variety does go that Pedro Pascal will have an integral role in Doomsday. I mean, that's not really shocking. He's coming into a world where he could be like easily top 2 smartest minds ever, right? Like between him and Shuri. So I'm like, it's not that shocking, right? I mean, that's not really big there. We did get Marvel Studios feels no sense of urgency to release Blade or Deadpool 4.
We noticed they didn't feel sense of urgency for Blade.
Oh, that's for sure. But I will say this, Mike. I only bring this specific topic up not for the Blade thing. We know that will either happen or not happen, and I don't care to lend more of my brain power to that. I've given enough. I will say the thing that's shocking here is Deadpool 3 made you a shit ton of money. Just off the idea of how much more money it could make you, I'm very surprised that they're not in a rush to do that. Because, I mean, it could still work. You could do another Deadpool Wolverine story if you wanted to, or just another Deadpool story, and it would still make you a shit ton of money. So that leads me to believe that you just want to halt it because you want to resume it when you embrace the mutant. It's really the only thing I can think of is that you want to incorporate Deadpool in a world where other mutants exist. And it's not a multiversal kind of thing. It's more so just this is his now reality, right? To where now if he goes to the X-Mansion, it's not just Colossus and Negasonic, right? Like he could maybe run into their Wolverine or their Jean Grey. It's the only thing I thought of that.
I mean,
go ahead, Trayvon.
I mean, he'd be in the Avengers movies somehow. I don't know, Secret Wars, I guess. And
Deadpool?
Yeah,
I mean, Deadpool, 1,000%.
And I feel like he could survive it all. If it was one character that survived it all, I'd still be there after
He'll be the peacemaker.
That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, well, we at least know he's in one of them because that Thor scene, I don't think was a throwaway. I think that was for something. I think it'll be a comedic relief, whatever it turns out to be, but it exists. I don't think that was meant to just be a throwaway. We knew at that point all things were coming towards this, where we're heading to next year. So,
Do you know why Thor was crying? No.
I do.
No.
Yeah, I'm the opposite end of the spectrum there. I 100% believe that was just a throwaway because it's reused
Really?
footage from Thor: The Dark World. It's not like they filmed anything for that scene.
No. You sure?
Yes, he's crying because Loki died
No,
in Thor: The Dark World.
He was holding weight.
Yeah, it's a body.
That was reused footage.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fine if that's what you guys are saying. I'm saying I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility. There's a scene like that with Thor and Deadpool in Secret Wars or Doomsday, whichever one. You put Deadpool in one of those movies, he's there for comedic relief, and that would be hilarious to see that scene manifest itself. But no one here is shocked that there's no urgency for Deadpool 4.
Where, I mean, I don't see when you would do it before these movies.
No.
You haven't started already.
It have to be within the next 2 years. When you say no urgency, that kind of just puts a TBD.
It's weird though because Kevin a couple weeks ago was saying he'd want to do it. That's why Variety coming out with this today is like,
it's just not. Like he wants to do Blade. That doesn't mean it's a priority.
No,
it's just rebooting the X-Men is clearly a priority. So it's
that's what I mean, and that's probably why he's on a rush to do Deadpool. How do you figure that in unless you like? Because right now they have Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. They kind of want to keep it together, right?
Yeah.
You keep Hugh, you kind of can't now because you want to reboot all the X-Men.
Well, that's
Hugh dying in Secret Wars.
Maybe. But my point is that's why you probably
Wolverine is dying in Secret Wars.
Well, this is why it's a little confusing to me because sure, Hugh dies in Secret Wars for the 15th time at this point. You kill off Logan in Secret Wars, and then Deadpool can continue having his regular Deadpool adventures. Sure, but Kevin Feige specifically said we want to make another Deadpool and Wolverine. So do you pair him up with the new Wolverine? That's kind of weird.
That's what I mean. That's why for me it's like you got to figure. I think they have to figure out what they're doing with the new X-Men before they consider Deadpool Wolverine again. Because then, like to me, then you have to keep.
I
them
think
out
you're just saying that just to say
maybe. But my thing is, then you keep them as exiles. You know that they're not in the same universe. They're kind of out of this. They're like in the whatever.
If you do that, you can't introduce Wolverine then, right? Because now you're undercutting your new Wolverine if Hugh Jackman's still around.
That's another problem. That's why you can't keep him around long term.
But that's
so like you can do Deadpool and Wolverine 2, Deadpool 4, and then you introduce the new Wolverine 7 years from now, and you just do X-Men without Wolverine for a bit, I guess.
No, I'm gonna say I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm gonna say it would not be weird to me if you're saying it's a whole new reality. Right? Obviously, all the X-Men we're about to see are not going to continue to be the X-Men. Hugh Jackman falls right in line with that. In this new reality, obviously, you establish everyone first. You establish Wolverine first. Maybe give him his own movie or series first. And then you can make a Deadpool 4 if you want to bring them back together. I don't think it would be weird only because Deadpool is so meta. It would be very interesting to see how he reacts, knowing that that's not the same Wolverine and playing off of the idea that that's not the same Wolverine. I think that would be very much.
You want Deadpool Wolverine with the different Wolverine, not Hugh.
You said what, Joel?
So you want Deadpool Wolverine, but not with Hugh's Wolverine. What you're saying?
Right. Not with Hugh as a Wolverine. Right. Because I'm assuming it's not coming out between now and Secret Wars.
I agree. That's what I mean.
So if you're doing it after, I'm 1,000% fine with you doing. Because I mean, he kind of played around with it with like Henry Cavill as Wolverine. It's like you kind of saw a little bit of like a world now with no Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and I'm like, I'm intrigued on how a Deadpool will
many of them are Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, though.
Right. So
but it's already established that one of them wasn't, so that means others can be without it.
Right. I will say this though, Mike. To your point, I don't think we need to run it back with those two in the same movie. I'll start there. I do not think we need to do that. I would like to get more into, if you're not going to put Deadpool back with Vanessa, can we maybe get into the actual love interest for Deadpool? Like, you know, the character you had in the last movie that you just ignored in this movie, Domino. Like, I'd be fine with that. So I'm like, for me, it's a lot more things Deadpool could be doing that we could see him do that doesn't have to involve Wolverine. I mean, he did the first 2 movies that were big hits with no Wolverine. So I'm like, we know it can be a success going forward without it.
That's a different conversation to be had if you just want like a standard Deadpool 4. But like 2 weeks ago, Kevin Feige was like, Deadpool and Wolverine is what they were like working on. So
yeah. I mean, shit, if they have a vision to where they can do it before Secret Wars, great. If not, then just do it with a different Wolverine. I mean, a different actor. Sorry, it's Wolverine.
We can get a different Wolverine.
Yeah, it's no more Hugh Jackman.
Laura, come on.
We can get Daphne King back on the.
All right, AJ. We get another piece of articles saying ideas are percolating for Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3, and it's creating internal excitement at Marvel. Cool. Now, here's where I'm going to say bullshit. This man, Ryan Coogler's been telling y'all for almost 3 months now, I'm focusing on X-Files, bitch. I am focusing on X-Files. This is my next thing. That's where my head's at. I'm focusing. And every time they kept asking about Black Panther, what does he keep saying? Yeah,
well, that's why they said the idea is percolating, you know?
Yeah,
like,
all that's percolating is I got Denzel in it, and that's all Marvel's excited.
And that gets them excited, exactly. It's like, hey, guys.
I mean there's an idea there.
Right.
Like, Kevin, I got Denzel. Kevin's just like, enough said. Enjoy.
Literally, he's just like, hey, Kevin, give me a break. I got Denzel. Yeah. I got an idea. Yeah. And Kevin just like, sold, done. We'll see you after X-Files.
You know, it'd be hilarious if what Kevin said back, like Ryan shows up and goes, "Hey, I got Denzel. Don't worry, I'll work on it when I'm done with X-Files." It's like, no, take your time. We got Damson Idris. It's like, huh? Is what? T'Challa. No, just enjoy X-Files. You know, do what you're doing. When you come back here, we'll talk. we'll talk when you get back. Just, enjoy your time away, dog. Enjoy your time away. You know, I'm doing something over here though. Just ignore that. I mean, that is encouraging. Mike, I kind of know where Trayvon and Joel stand. I want to ask you and AJ. If there's any truth to this Damson Idris as T'Challa, whether it's just something of like an alternate universe, or if it does stick, how would you feel if we do get a recasting of T'Challa? Mike, I'm sorry.
I've been wanting a recasting.
Go ahead, AJ.
Sorry. I've been wanting a recasting of T'Challa for the longest time. I know I'm probably in the minority in this, but since Black Panther, the end of Black Panther, the first Black Panther, the beginning of Black Panther 2, I did want a recasting of T'Challa. And the fact that it's still taking so long, it does annoy me, but I do understand that inside of Disney, they were like fighting if they should recast them or shouldn't recast them. It's a whole debate right now, in and out of Disney right now. So I do understand it, but we need T'Challa back in the MCU. It doesn't have to be the same actor. We just need him back. He is one of the most important characters of Marvel, and the fact that we haven't seen him since the first Black Panther. Well, no. What was the last time? Was it Infinity War or Endgame? Yeah.
When he came back to life.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Crazy.
Endgame.
I'm with you, AJ, and I'll say this. Originally, my thought was, you know, if you're gonna retire him to respect the family, I can understand that. The moment that man's brother came out and said Chadwick would want y'all to recast,
yes.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Who are we trying to appease? Who are we appeasing if the family is coming out and saying, no, dog, do you? What are we doing? Like, you can't do this. Do you know how crazy it would be if you told me Heath Ledger retired the Joker? I can't ever get Joker ever again. That's crazy. That is insane. No, he adds to the legacy. He has now established a legacy for that character that you should want to pass on for people to continue the legacy of the Black Panther. Why would you? And again, I know people are going to say Shuri's a Black Panther, and that's awesome. I want you to keep it that way because in my mind, I know how the both of them can work. But to just tell me I got one solo Black Panther movie with T'Challa and that's it, and you're about to introduce Storm, bruh, hell no. Hell no. Recast.
Yeah.
Recast. Mike, your thoughts?
I don't think it's a recasting if we're resetting the timeline in any form or fashion, technically. So that's fine. Like recasting Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa would have been weird. But if we're loosely resetting continuity anyway, and like you're already hinting at Steve Rogers and Tony Stark coming back too, so yeah, bring back T'Challa. That's totally fine. It just comes down to execution, really. We talked about this before. The idea of undercutting Shuri as the Black Panther in Black Panther 3 would be a problem. But if we're doing like a continuity reset and T'Challa is on this earth, that is totally fine with me. It'd be weird if like a variant or his son ages up and now he's the lead. That's just kind of strange.
That would have been weird, yeah.
Yeah. But if we're doing we're resetting content. Go ahead.
That's what I think they're going to go with. I think they are going to age up his son. I don't think that's an alternate, or I don't think you're going to get a work. Because think about it. Essentially, what you're saying is the universe resets itself, and now you're telling your audience, T'Challa never died. He's alive, and this is T'Challa. To me, that is more off-putting than you telling me the kid we introduced and gave the name T'Challa to is the one we're now aging up. That to me makes way more sense than to say we're living in a reality where he never died. Because then if you're talking about undercutting, you undercut the whole death and what that means, as opposed to
you're doing that to the entirety of the MCU though, instead of just one specific character. Because if we're going through all these hoops to bring T'Challa back, whether it be through his son, strangely enough, why isn't Steve Rogers back? That's why it's like if Captain America and Iron Man can die, why are we fighting so hard to bring T'Challa back when Shuri's Black Panther? That's all. Well,
first of all, here's numerous issues. I don't think you should, because you could say the same thing for Riri and for Sam that you're saying for Shuri.
Exactly. If you brought Steve back right now, it'd be the same problem.
But that's what I'm saying. Here's where it's different. The legacy of Steve is Sam, right? The legacy of Tony is the entire MCU, apparently. But the legacy of T'Challa, they told you, isn't Shuri, it's his son. So it would make sense that the legacy would continue with his son. And you can say in this reality, he's 18 or 26 or whatever age you want to put him at. That does make more sense because it is a baton passing. And you can have Shuri spend that whole third movie teaching him what it means to be a king. Or a Black
Panther. But again, we're gonna have to figure out a way to make this kid older, because like you can't just say 18 years later in the MCU.
No,
that affects all these other characters.
He's already older in this new reality. If you're saying you were okay with them saying T'Challa never died in this new reality, you can easily say this kid is just older.
I mean, the way they keep jumping these other movies, if you add it all up, just got a 4 jump. Maybe we'll get another one.
A 4 jump in a different timeline, though. I don't know how it works.
You're about to tell me I'm now in a reality where these X-Men have a 50-year history. The Fantastic.
Right. So, but that's the thing. If we're rewriting MCU history entirely, I don't see why T'Challa then has to stay dead. That's the thing.
That's fair.
Then once you bring him back to life, it just opens Pandora's box, and I honestly don't want to see Iron Man back.
Just reboot the damn MCU after Secret Wars.
No.
Reboot it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put too much time in. Fuck that.
The problem with that is
before you go, Joel, here's Trayvon why you specifically should be careful in saying that.
What?
We just did that, and you don't like the way we rebooted a universe. So if we reboot this universe, and now there's no Elizabeth Olsen, she's out.
I just said don't reboot it. I put too much time in.
Yeah, he said don't reboot it.
I put too much time in.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's comics for you, Trayvon.
No.
I'm with you, Trayvon. Do not do that.
Reboot the shit.
To me, I kind of feel like that.
Secret Wars is the perfect ending.
No, because then so if you want to do it that way, then Secret Wars should happen, and then you should take 10 to 15 years off, and then reboot it. Don't reboot it right away.
Fuck out of it. We don't need that much time off. Absolutely not.
You can't end it and then just say the whole 15 to 20 year history we just laid down is now gone.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
can.
So
right when you start getting real...
you don't have to take 15 years off to make another movie. You can do 2 or 3 years off. You'll be fine with that.
Okay, so since we're down this rabbit hole already, I guess I'll just ask the question. Hold on. Since we're down this rabbit hole already, they're gonna have to reboot at some point. If they do reboot after Secret Wars, like what storylines are we like? Well, they can't reboot because XYZ. You know, like what is happening in the MCU right now that is preventing us from hitting the reset button?
Captain America's black. Don't make him white again.
In the comics, there's multiple Captain Americas.
Yeah,
like they're both
multiple Captain Americas. Why?
We already have that right now.
Cut him.
Multiple Captain Americas. Right?
There's 2 Spider-Man. There's 2 of everything in the fucking comic. Let's be real.
No, there is, but I'm saying right now, in a time where you just gave Sam the shield, already you're about to say, all right, well now he's sharing it.
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying it's been done.
Yeah, I'm just asking a question to feel out chat here. So Sam, is Sam the only tether to current MCU that's keeping us from hitting the reboot button?
You're doing a lot of storylines that can continue past Secret Wars. So it's like when you say reboot, do you mean everything's gone and you're starting from scratch?
100%.
Then no. No, I don't feel closure enough in the MCU where it is to say yes to that.
So when we get to the point of a reboot, because Kevin said it's going to happen one day, what needs to wrap up? Like what storylines actually they need to bring to an end?
I just got one Shang-Chi movie. You just gave me a new arc of Peter. So you about to tell me
you just gave us a new Fantastic Four and you want to reboot it already?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying recast the actors, but we're rewriting some actors for sure. But like every new character, like Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel, I don't think need to 100% be recast.
Stay in, yes.
Yeah, but
that's what I mean.
I don't think it's a. So this is what I mean. It's a full reboot because the timeline is being completely rewritten. The X-Men will exist. The Fantastic Four will exist. Sure, narrative reboot. all of these new characters are being added into main continuity. Everything from Endgame back didn't happen because Iron Man can't be dead. Steve Rogers can't be old as shit, and T'Challa would be alive. But Miss Marvel would exist in the continuity. Sam would be Captain America. You know, like you would just pick up from that point, kind of like the comics.
That's where things get fucking weird and iffy.
Yeah. To me, I kind of feel as though that's admitting to a failure you have not reached yet. To me, if you think you've come so far down, you need to bring back Steve and Iron Man to bring us back to our glory. To me, I think that's lazy.
I think it was even worse.
But you don't even have to start with them if you're rebooting. You can start with it. The options are endless now since we got X-Men franchise back. We can do a lot of things.
That's fair. The Avengers can go back to being a C-list team instead of being the A-list team.
That's really what I mean. That's exactly what I mean, though, Joel. Like we don't need to get an Iron Man movie. It would just be the Avengers exist in this continuity. You will see them because you want to do the Illuminati. You want to have T'Challa. You want to have Reed. You want to have Tony interact at some point. You know,
you might want to humans down in the future as a movie.
Time out, but Mike, you being someone that understands studios as well as you do, you know what you're saying is not even because you can't cast small for Iron Man. You can't cast small for Steve. You got to cast big. So if you cast big, you're going to cast big and then tell them they don't have to do a solo movie?
So why do you have to cast big?
Why would you cast small?
Why not? You're starting over.
Because it's money.
Because to me, because then what are you saying is the face of your Avengers? So if Tom Holland still exists, right? And you're saying Spider-Man's going to be working with the Avengers or part of it, whatever you want to say, you're then telling us that the most notable face in that team is then the one guy you don't own?
No, the reason you won't do that is because they went from being C-list characters to A-list characters, and that's where the money.
You don't go back down. You don't regress them.
It's not regressing. It's just shifting focus more or less. Like the X-Men would be the focus.
That's
With-
Fantastic Four would be the
would
focus.
not-
They will be the focus.
Still casting a big name for said kid. You know how many guys would line up to be Iron Man? Or
So,
Captain America?
since you're talking about this Variety article that came out today, one of the notable things in that article was they're going to be casting unknowns for the X-Men because it'll be significantly cheaper.
Yes.
And I think part of it is Kevin Feige is also looking at DC.
It's getting too
like-
expensive.
It's
Marvel's
getting they're
getting too
paying
expensive.
Robert Downey $80 million to be Doom, and David Cornsweet did a phenomenal Superman. He got paid less than $1 million.
Yeah, but here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. We unfortunately live in a world where Superman is now not more popular than Iron Man. That is now a legit argument to be had, right? To where it's a reality of you can undercut Superman because you have to regain people's love for Superman.
I mean, that's also because he's an unknown. Robert Downey Jr. is super popular.
Right. So
Super
I'm
celebrity.
just saying you've elevated the character of Iron Man and Captain America way too high to go low.
I don't-
Superman, you could say Henry Cavill, no one really knew him all that much, right? Even the Superman before Henry Cavill, you could argue no one knew
I
him.
think we just explained why they won't be coming. Most of the bigger names won't be coming back because they're too expensive. Like that's really what it comes
I
down
mean, they're arguing with Jeremy Renner now, but I'm saying with Hawkeye, you can go a lesser name because you don't have to make Hawkeye such an integral piece.
to. But
You can go a lesser name for Black Widow. You don't have to make her such an integral piece.
I think
But
To believe
we
that
don't have to
Iron-
cast for the actor. We're casting for the actor that's perfect for the character. If we get a good character, a good actor for that character, the fans will flock regardless if they like him or not. Doesn't
wanna
matter if he's big or
remind you-
small.
We just had John Krasinski as Reed, and we all loved it, and we ended up with Pedro Pascal because it's a bigger name.
Okay, but we also had Joseph Quinn, who is relatively new as Johnny Storm, and everybody.
well, to be fair, when he got cast, he was like the hottest shit.
A big,
because of
he was
Stranger
a
Things.
name. What are you talking about? He wasn't unknown. He wasn't unknown at all.
he was
Honestly,
the-
Vanessa
yeah,
Kirby might be the least known of that cast. Strangely
Exactly
enough.
right. Vanessa would be the least known. All I'm saying is, AJ, is you're viewing it from a standpoint of these characters don't have to be made to be so important anymore. I'm saying you're not living in a world where you can rewrite people's mentality of not viewing them as bigger characters. So yes,
Well, again,
Are
it's
you
not.
saying the character or the actor?
the characters are now A-list characters to this world we live in now.
Yes,
Sure.
but if the actor of those characters is good, the fans will flock regardless because the characters are that good.
No, I don't think that's been the history. I think too many things need to go right. I think you can go big name just to sell it.
And okay.
Yeah,
That's
we just fundamentally disagree there because nobody. I mean, maybe now because the Avengers became the Avengers, but like even Spider-Man, you can get unknowns to play Spider-Man.
They did. Tom Holland was
Sure,
Every single one, and it's
Spider-Man-
freaking Spider-Man.
Right, Spider-Man's bigger than life itself. What I'm saying is that you're talking about not only taking this newfound A-list character in Iron Man and casting someone small, you're also talking about making his role significantly smaller. And
That's
I'm saying
different.
that's too many things I don't see happening. I don't see that happening.
I don't see them ever. They're not
I
backburnering.
bring him back to life only to tell him that he's now regulated back down. To me, it's just keep him dead. Well,
Yeah,
I understand.
They're not
We
going to
saw
back
the
him.
market where we're at.
They bring him back.
Keep the motherfucker dead. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But like you said before, if he's too big, they can't just keep him dead if he's too big of an actor or
He's been
too
dead
big
for
of a
like
character.
how many years now?
That's a drawback of money that you want for those movies.
So the conversation that we're having right now is exactly why they didn't recast T'Challa. And this is why, because all this spun from the Dempsey and Idris idea.
Yeah.
This is why I am so hesitant of like, well, if you do that, that's a risk. That's a tough call to make because you have not only in continuity issues that you might run into, you also have the fandom perspective. And if you're going to go through all these hoops to get T'Challa back in this universe, it probably is best to just do it for the entire universe and get all these characters back as well.
I don't know, because I think a lot of the people's hate for the idea of recasting T'Challa is because Marvel was so adamant that we're not doing it. It's not the right thing to do. We're not doing it. so much so I think people have bought into the concept. If Marvel had immediately said, we spoke with the family of Chadwick's, they were A-okay with us progressing the legacy of this character, I don't think the uproar would have been there. I think because they tripled down on it so much.
I guess my question for you then is why? Why do we need T'Challa in this universe? Why isn't Shuri good enough?
T'Challa, and you only gave us one movie of T'Challa. I don't think that that's fair. That people that love that character, that felt something with that character, that thought as though that character was something to look up to, you're now saying we're just done with it. We're just going to progress it to Shuri. To me, I don't think that's fair to both the character, and I don't think that's fair to the legacy. To me, the legacy should continue. What legacy would you ever want to just die? Like, our last names all mean something. You wouldn't want it to just die. You want that legacy to continue.
But you just said you wanted to keep Iron Man dead to keep this universe going. Why can't we keep Iron Man in this universe? Same with Captain America.
Right. Anybody can.
I'll tell you
Iron Man. Go.
Because they had full arcs. That's why.
We saw
Black Panther he had one movie, and that cameo.
And in that movie, he died.
And he also died.
Then the next time we saw him, he fucking died.
I'm not saying any of it's right or wrong. I'm just saying there is a difference, and that's the main difference. T'Challa never got to actually be T'Challa for very long.
And I fully understand that, but that's the reality we live in, and Wakanda Forever already happened. And so with the idea
that's why I was for it before that. But yeah,
and I'm not arguing against that. It's just when we're talking about now of trying to get another actor to play this character, and we're talking about you don't want that legacy to die. Somebody else can pick up the mantle. Somebody else can play that role. That applies to literally every other character that has died in the MCU.
But it doesn't. To Joel's point is, what else do we need to see of Iron Man? Yes, you can argue.
What else do we need to see of Spider-Man? This guy will just never go away.
You know what? Let me say I go with that concept. What else do we need?
Trayvon agrees because he wants Peter Parker to die. By the
way. Bring us Miles Morales, but we're never going to get him.
Mike said Spider-Man. He didn't say Peter Parker.
Time out. Here's the thing, Trayvon. They're laughing, but that was about to be the point I was going to make. Is that we've seen Steve in Tony's beginning, middle, and end, right? So if you did want to kill Peter, I would not be an advocate of recasting Peter. You can pass that mantle on to Miles, is what I'm saying, because we would have seen a full arc of Spider-Man. I've not seen a full arc of T'Challa.
Here's the thing: like, what are we considering an arc though? Because T'Challa did have an arc. Like, he has an arc in his own movie. He had an arc in Civil War. So when you say a full arc, I know you want more time with these characters, but he did have an arc.
Mike, Civil War is the only time you fully saw T'Challa living and breathing. You get to Black Panther, the man dies in it. He's gone for at least 20, 25 minutes, then comes back into the movie. Then you get to what's the first Avengers? I mean before Endgame.
Infinity War.
All right. You get to Infinity War, you reintroduce T'Challa, now introducing him to the larger MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 25 minutes later, man disappears. You get to Endgame, you reintroduce him again the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then unfortunately he dies in real life, and that's it of T'Challa. What arc am I getting there? That's not a beginning, middle, and end.
Like, as a character, his story arc was in Civil War, his father gets killed. He goes through his entire grieving process and revenge quest. And he works through that. That's an arc. That is a character arc.
The start of an arc, yes.
Now, that is a character arc. That's a full character arc.
No, that's a full character arc. So if you tell me that if they ended Iron Man after Iron Man 1, that's a full arc for
They
Tony?
Legit could have done that, yes.
They did.
That's a full arc for Tony?
That is a full story arc.
Tony, yes.
We saw a full arc with Tony, with him being the narcissistic asshole, and then getting to the second movie with enhancing that, and then being faced with his own mortality.
Yeah, but that's only one part.
That's
I'm saying you guys keep saying part of an arc. That's not a full arc.
Iron Man 1 is a full arc. It's a full character arc. You can get multiple story. because Tony starts off as a narcissistic asshole, and then he learns that his weapons are destroying people's lives, and then he decides, oh crap, this is shitty. I'm gonna become Iron Man, and I'm gonna stop selling weapons. That is a character arc.
But what I'm saying is, if you remember the movie vividly, he does the same thing again. He makes weapons that he sells that get to the wrong hands that become problems. He creates Iron Man, that's a weapon. The idea of Iron Man gets in the wrong hands,
and that's why that's a lot of people's criticism with Iron Man 2, though.
Iron Man 2 is just a bad movie. That's really what it is. It's a different conversation.
He didn't sell them, all right? They couldn't figure it out.
That is also fair.
Well, I'm saying he repeated himself of the idea of all he knows is how to create a weapon. He
got reckless in part 2. Whatever his name was, Vanko figured out how to do the fucking arc reactor 2. And basically like confronted him, saying, bitch, I did it. Even though he said that no one else would figure it out for like another 15, 20 years. That's when the shit got real. It was like, oh fuck.
I'm just saying, to me, a full character arc is you creating your issue, you learning from your issue, and you progressing from your issue. And you don't get that till he throws the fucking chess piece in the ocean at the end of Iron Man 3.
But then he gets it next in Iron Man. No, okay.
Well, again, we also always argue that the Russos don't give a fuck what came before them. They will.
But that's the point. That Iron Man 1, there is a full character arc. Iron Man 2 is a repeat of that same character arc.
Yeah.
It's still
Iron Man 3. What is Iron Man 3?
So basically, every single movie should it's a singular story. Every single movie should have its own arc. And so if you're saying you want T'Challa to have more stories, I am not arguing nor disagreeing with that. But I will say it's kind of unfair to say he didn't get an arc when he did get an arc.
I think he didn't get a full arc because, again, I can't count a movie where he dies in it. And then the next movie you give me, he dies in that too. And then the next movie, guess what? Wait for it. Dies in that one too.
Already dead.
What am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to say, I feel fulfilled. All we need to do is see Blade take the sword out of the sheath, cut 3 vampires, and I'm good. Don't ever give me Blade again. Like, that's crazy. I would like to see a full-fledged Black Panther where he's not dying.
I understand. I fully understand.
That's all
I'm just saying reboot. That's really what it is. That's the simplest path.
If you're saying reboot, it needs to be soft and it can involve Steve or Tony.
That's where it gets messy though, because if we're doing it to bring T'Challa back, now it doesn't make sense that these other characters don't come back.
We don't remember, I'm not with you on bringing T'Challa back. I'm saying his son is already there. Age the son. That's what I'm saying.
This is why it's back to the Shuri thing. Aging this kid up when Shuri just became Black Panther also feels kind of shitty. That's all. And that's a whole other can of worms that is weird to handle.
We will never disagree on that. That's from the fault of putting your thumb on the pulse of never doing it, only to decide to do it. That's a them problem. For me,
right, but that's the reality we live in.
But Mike, I'm saying it's unavoidable. You bring him back to life or age him up, it's still fucking Shuri over. So for me, you already have an heir to T'Challa. Just use the heir. Or what the fuck is the point of having the heir? Because what are you
going to do 10 years from now?
So in 10 years from now, you're going to do what? Kill T'Challa again? I'm done with killing T'Challa. We've been there, done that. Let's let this T'Challa live a full life.
I'm just saying, like, this kid doesn't have to get aged up. Like, Black Panther 3 could just be Shuri's movie. We already set up that this kid is like 5. 10 years from now, he can be T'Challa.
So wait, are we saying our 10 years from now, or the MCU does another time jump?
Probably our 10 years from now, honestly, at the rate it takes to make these movies. Remember, this is an idea that's percolating. We don't even have a semblance of an idea.
The boy was 7 at the time. By the time Doomsday started, he should be like 10.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're talking about another 10 years. Yeah, I don't need to wait.
That's too fucking long. Reboot the shit. Goddamn.
Soft
hey, man. That soft reboot, you pick and choose whatever the fuck they want to do, and that's what they're going to do.
All I'm saying is I can't be upset of the idea of cherry picking when that's exactly what James is doing, and I have no problem with that. So to me,
that's a totally different story.
Some shit is I'm 100% okay.
This would be on a much bigger scale, but yes.
Yeah, cherry pick it.
But that's exactly my point, though. Reboot. James making a DC universe, all these characters just exist. Like they did just freaking exist. You could do the same thing with Marvel. It's like, yeah, the Avengers are over there. We're focusing on the X-Men right now.
It's slightly different because no one died. No one died. Like none of those characters had full long arcs that
didn't exist.
Yeah,
that's why.
Where you're just like I never got a solo Batman movie. So to tell me that you're redoing Batman, I'm like, well, good. I never got one. So like, awesome. I can finally have one. That's great.
I just feel like, as lifelong comic fans, y'all understand that a reboot is inevitable. It's the only way to make some of this work.
In the movie, which is what I thought the DC one was going to do. I thought it was going to make a soft reboot, where he went semi-hard at this point.
I mean, he damn near went hard.
Yeah. It's major hard. It's a whole bunch.
You know what? You are right, Mike. Is people who have read comic books, you do have to accept the fact that this chapter or this issue is over. We're going into a new comic or a new arc.
It gets rebooted when you don't even want it to some of the time.
I'm saying the only difference is that it never feels as disjointed as the MCU has felt with the decisions they've made.
Buddy, that's inaccurate.
No, I'm saying for me, it's like this is something that you don't have to go that route. You don't have to go that cynical route of just forget everything you saw. It's a whole new world like Aladdin. You can fix some of these things with Secret Wars and get right back on track. You don't have to bring back Cap and Tony to save the day. We already were shitting on the idea of Doom being RDJ when it first happened. We were like, why?
Y'all, not me. Don't put me in that.
Like, would you? Why? No one else could have done that.
It was all predicated on how they did it.
I still hate it.
So,
it's very weird.
I never hated it.
I don't want to move backwards. We've been there, done it. Great. We gave it to Sam. We see what Riri's doing now. Even with Shuri.
Those are the main things they're gonna wipe.
You said,
well, that's why I feel like they would still exist if they were to theoretically do it.
Hope so.
They would, but would they have as big of an impact as it looks like? Like right now, it seems like the leader of the Avengers now and going forward is Sam. You bring Steve back in. Why does it not go back to Steve?
Because he don't want to do it.
Why wouldn't you want to do it? It's a whole new reality. It's not the same reality.
Also, we haven't seen Sam's Avengers. That's my point. Is like they're not fully embracing this generation of heroes in the first place.
We're finally going to get it in the movie, but shit.
But then we have two teams of Avengers in this movie. That's why it's
going to merge. You're going to merge them. You know that.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
You know, there's going to be one full of it.
Fusion.
I think for right now, they're just going to put them together at the end of the day.
All I'm saying is, Steve left Sam with a responsibility and a mantle, right? Mm-hmm. You can argue T'Challa. Let's say he left that mantle for Shuri. We know he didn't, but let's say he did, right? That movie ends with Shuri abandoning Wakanda. So I'm like, I mean, she even to a degree is kind of just like,
That's not a full character arc, though. The third one can be her coming back. You never know.
No, of course you can. I'm saying you left it with her abandoning Wakanda. So I'm like, I mean,
it wasn't abandoned. She left it with people responsible enough to take care of
with no Black Panther. Right. Yes, we agree. Yeah, they left Wakanda with no Black Panther.
I mean, that's happened multiple times, but
T'Challa did that a lot
too. So many times.
It's not.
The way she did. All I'm saying is that you can easily have it to where Shuri goes and does shit with the Avengers, and T'Challa is more so here to stay in Wakanda. And he maybe sometimes, if it interferes with Wakanda, will help out. That's all I'm saying. You could easily do that. They could both be Black Panther. I don't need two Captain Americas because you're gonna have to agree on which one is which. Which one is gonna say I am?
That's much messier than two Black Panthers for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna because think about it. You're either gonna have to tell Steve to come back from death and retire, right? Be leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some shit. And at that point, why? Just give it to Maria Hill. Bring her back. Give her some shit to do. Like, let Maria Hill lead you. That'd be awesome.
He's dead. Again, if we start bringing a bunch of characters back.
You were trying to bring back the two characters dead? So I'm like, well, shit.
I said bring back everybody. There's a difference. That included Maria Hill.
Man, I'm like, well, shit. She never really got to do anything. Let her fucking come back and do something.
She should
They should
did
reboot
it.
this shit solely because of Secret Invasions. That horse shit of a show.
Can we move on now?
Yeah, we did also get from Oscar Isaac in regards to Moon Knight season 2. Quote, we'll see. Maybe one day. Or in the movie. We'll see.
Not gonna happen.
What movie?
That has to be the only movie that we've been hearing about, which is
Midnight Sun.
Midnight Suns.
Oh.
So I mean, I guess that makes the most sense.
If he's talking about that, if that's what he's talking about, then there might be some fire.
Yeah. We also get Tom Holland teasing a secret shoot. Everyone's assuming that it's not so secret. It's just that Spider-Man's beginning production.
I'm about to say.
Listen, man, he's learning to keep his mouth shut. We'll take it.
I'll say that I don't think it's anything superhero. I think it's something. I think it's something else. I know a lot of people
Apple
are trying
TV.
to think maybe it's attached to Punisher, but I'm like, Joel's been telling me he thinks that's a prequel anyway.
Looks like it based on what I'm looking at.
So I don't know if his special ends with leading him into whatever he gets into with Spider-Man. My only issue with Spider-Man, and we can move on, is I just want to know, is Hulk in this fucking movie? Like, it's about to start filming, and I still don't know if this motherfucker's in this movie. It's still.
We don't know a lot.
Do you want to know if he's in the movie or not?
Why did that need to be a secret?
Why not? It'd be a nice surprise.
I have a bigger question. If
I didn't know Hulk was going to show up in Deadpool and Wolverine for the little time he had, but it was pretty
that was
nice.
very cameo. Bad.
Like, that's different. He's full-fledged.
Yeah,
He still showed up.
This man's supposed to be like the primary threat, bro. This is very different.
Very different.
Rumors. Not
I'm more
really.
concerned
They
about
are
whoever
rumors.
said
That's
he's
what I'm
thinking.
saying. I would like to see what the
That's where I was going, Mike. See, if it's not multiversal and it is street level, who the fuck is Sadie Sink playing? Who the fuck are you? Like,
It's literally, wait a minute, who are you?
yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting. Because to me, I kind of feel like, remember, guys, when they said the argument Sony and Marvel was having was whether or not to be street level or multiversal? I feel like the article never told us which side was which. So I'm very curious. Did the MCU want to be multiversal for their storyline, or did Sony?
I'm sure it was a fight, and I think Sony wants the multiversal one. But everything we keep hearing now is that it's going to be more street level. So I'm like,
apparently Daniel said that was the only way he was willing to come in and do it, is if he could do the vision he had, which was for street level.
If it is street level, then that really makes me wonder who the fuck Sadie Sink is. Like, that's because everything we heard that it's not. Every character they mentioned is not street level. So I'm like, okay.
No. All of them have something to do with some kind of multiverse.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people keep saying Gwen, and she wear a wig, but it's like, I mean, sure, but
yeah. Why would they keep doing that though? Why do they keep casting redheads and making them blonde for these?
It's a running joke now.
I mean, shit, MJ was not even a blonde.
Yeah. They cast redheads for Gwen and never a redhead for annoying now.
Very annoying. I did want to add the actor. There's an actor, Joel, that they're theorizing could be Atrocitus in this Lantern series.
Yes.
Now I will say this. I never doubted Atrocitus would be in the series. Whether it's by mention or whatever. It wasn't until I saw who the actor was that I immediately said, "Oh, that motherfucker is 1,000% Atrocitus." I can hear his voice in my head. It's very deep, very brooding, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's Atrocitus, right?"
He's a smaller man, though, so it would have to be like CGI.
Yeah.
But,
Well, remember, that was the photo that he just put out with him around.
Yeah.
So that's what
I mean. Yes, there's been rumors that when he got casted, they said he's playing a character named Anton, who's like an alien.
Right.
We knew it was an alien.
We're secretive about who he's playing. So
yeah, there's a lot of secret ones. Like I remember one of these guys got casted, and I remember me and Michael looked at it, and like the description for the character was super sus. I've never read a character description in my life. I'm like, that is not who he is.
I swear that was ChatGPT.
I was like, what was that?
Character super sus. That's it.
Super sus, bro.
That's how he writes them. No, but I think now we can start to think maybe we might see more than green yellow, and red.
Sinestro's in it. Yeah, so
Yeah, we might see more than those colors, which would be cool.
and he just posted today. He just finished filming. So
Let's
Why
get
did they
orange,
pitch-
baby. Let's get
Why
orange.
did they pitch this show as True Detective? Because that's the least interesting thing you could have done to pitch a Green Lantern show.
I did hear James Gunn further explain what they meant by that, and I'm like, no, that's cool, but whoever first said that should have known we were taking it as no powers, straight up civilian, just doing some detective shit. And it's like, all right, well, that's good for whatever HBO series y'all trying to do, but not Lanterns. Okay.
And he's on social media so much. I know he saw people complaining about this multiple times, and he chose to say nothing. And the first look at this show very much confirmed that belief. So it's like, oh, so all the Lanterns are in the show though, and you guys didn't lead with that? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Nope.
it's better to be surprised. I guess like, what is this shit? Because it looks like if it is a series, it'll probably be the way they do what's it called, House of the Dragon, or like the big budget shit is at the end. So there's a lot of dialogue in between.
As long as it's there, I'm fine. Like,
yes,
I get it, budgetary reasons. Like, put it in the finale. It's okay.
I just can't wait to see their costume. I want to see what version of the costumes are.
I am dying for that. James Gunn also did say that Peacemaker Season 2 will have cameos from past and future projects.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's very interesting. I mean, I'm going to start with, I think the biggest cameo in here, it has to be Superman. That's where my money is, and that's where my money's going to stay.
That's my only issue. It's not an issue. It's that it's almost so certain I'm not excited for it. It's one of those, like, you know what I mean?
You say that
It's Jimmy fucking Olsen, guys.
That's what it is. Hey, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Big Willie Olsen.
Joel, did you want to give some quick thoughts on Avatar: Fire and Ash? The trailer dropped.
Oh, the trailer? Yeah, trailer cool. Probably end up watching that alone. But I do look forward to it.
Jeez.
I love you though, man. But
I do love that. I like the last one a lot. So this one looks pretty crazy though. I look forward to it.
Yep. I did want to also throw out Eyes of Wakanda. Will be dropping Friday, all 4 episodes.
Yep.
Only 4 episodes?
Yeah.
That's it.
All 4 at
That's
once, too.
disappointing. Jesus
All 4
Christ.
episodes. Make sure you guys definitely
It's a
keep an eye on
burn.
that.
You can binge it.
How long are the episodes?
5 minutes. No, I don't know. I'm kidding.
Crap. I think Nate said they were like 30, roughly.
30 makes sense.
That's actually pretty long for a half hour. I mean, for an animated show.
Yeah. We did get the official announcement. Meet the Parents 4 is happening, titled Focker-in-Law, with the star being Ariana Grande as the newest addition to the Focker.
Ooh.
To the Focker family.
They casted it. Who's gonna be her husband too, right? I forgot who it was.
No, the people were theorizing that it was what's his name that played Jimmy.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he get casted? I thought he did.
No, he got casted. I'm saying it's not confirmed that that's the
who he's playing.
That's who he's. But that's what people were theorizing. I don't know if it was ever made official. I'm not sure. I'll say this, Joel. I don't think his name is in the announcement. I don't see his name in the announcement.
I don't think it was, but it was the trade that announced it, right?
Right, it was a trade. Let me see what else. Oh, sorry. This is the biggest thing. New details on God of War live action series. Season 1 is 10 episodes. Filming at the earliest will begin in 2026. We'll adapt the Norse era games.
So long.
Kratos and Atreides are the focus. The game director Corey Barlog is involved. Season 2 has already been greenlit. The scripts are still being written for Season 1 and Season 2. Now, shout out to Mike because he did this article. He spoke with Amazon directly. So shout out to Mike.
Whoop whoop.
Give him the love. We appreciate you, Mike.
Lies, but okay.
Come on, Mike. Just let me give you credit, bro. Come on, man. I'm gonna say I'm not the biggest fan of this, only because you can almost now guarantee that Season 1 and Season 2 are just gonna give you. He bounced for a second. Season 1 and Season 2 is just gonna give you flashbacks of Kratos in his prime. I was not a fan of the idea that I kind of wanted to see him in his prime and you earn your way up to modern day, but I get it. Those are the most, I guess, recognizable of the franchise is these 2 newest games. So It is what it is. I'm just happy I'm gonna get the show and hopefully.
You don't think they can like weave in the times that he was in his prime throughout?
I think they're gonna do flashbacks, and that's what I didn't want. I didn't want that he goes to sleep and has a nightmare about when he had to kill like all these dope ass gods, and it's like just like a quick sequence. Like, no, I wanted to see him. Remember that one statue he was fighting where like he had to climb on it and climb around. Like, I want to see all that dope cool shit, man. I don't want to.
He had to fight the Titans.
Yeah, I don't want to see him go hand v hand with Thor right now, man. I wanted to see him fight those.
He fought Hercules.
You don't want to see Thor kill him and then bring him back to life just to fight him again?
No.
That should be season 4.
Spoilers alert.
That should be a while from now. We're not there yet.
No, I was kind of hoping like those Titans that was really hard to beat when you played the game. We could see that, like in its entirety of him trying to beat all these Titans and gods and whatnot. But it's okay. It's not me. You know, I'm still gonna watch the show. I'm still very excited for it. I knew this is what they were gonna do because you guys kept saying that. I just hoped that maybe we got from the start. But you know, whatever. Trayvon, I know you're excited to get some God of War news, and it's the ones that you know.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get it when it comes out. And when does it come out again?
2027 at the earliest.
It's coming sometime next year.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because Amazon has money, so let's see what comes out of it.
I'm sure they're gonna go all in too because some of their shows are wrapping up, so they need another big hit.
Fair,
yeah. Please,
right.
I'm excited for it because it's not gonna be Rings of Power.
Well, they are doing season 3.
They are doing another season.
I won't be watching.
I like season 2 more than like season.
Not bad.
Cancel this shit.
You know what I love most about Trayvon?
Renew the stuff I want.
You know what I love most about Trayvon?
Renew overcompensating.
He came into Rings of Power having
Where the hell is Red, White, Royal, Blue 2?
About what any of these rings do, and then when he found out they don't do what he wanted them to do, it's like, but no one ever told. Like, I get it. It's called Rings of Power, so you assume it gives you physical power.
Looking for Captain Planet to pop out. It was like
something. Shit.
He was hoping they would say, "Beware my Green Lantern's light." Like, I get it, Draymond, but no one ever told you that that's what was gonna happen, buddy. I'm just saying. But anyway, Mike, I wanted to end this on this, man, because having you in is my fellow box office guy. So it looks like Superman hit 502 mil globally.
Yep.
And that's as of 3 days ago. And Jurassic World Rebirth had 718 milli globally. Now, I'm asking, Mike. Remember, you were Jurassic. I was Fantastic Four. From the looks of it, it looks like we might have a heavyweight fight on our hands, bro. Fantastic Four already made up their marketing budget already. So I'm like, I think we can have a possible fight on our hands. Am I on a losing end still, Mike?
It all depends on second weekend. Superman had really strong legs the last couple weeks. Fantastic Four is looking like it's going to be about a 60% drop, which isn't. It's not. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, Superman, for context, had like a 51% drop, something like that. And this goes back to what we were saying initially when we were talking about box offices. Superman, I think, is just appealing to all audiences. So like families are going for repeat viewings. Fantastic Four had that huge Marvel push at like most of the major MCU movies do. But our parents taking their kids back to see this before school starts back up again, that's just, we'll have to wait and see. It looks like Superman might win out, interestingly enough. I didn't really expect that entirely. I think that just shows that people are excited for the DCU, and that's the exciting part for me. They essentially did what we all expected. They waited for a reboot to happen because I think Superman made the budget back of Black Adam, Blue Beetle, and Suicide Squad in like its first 10 days or so.
And it beat out Man of Steel recently.
It just beat Man of Steel domestically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that just kind of confirms that word of mouth was good for Superman. Audiences are excited for the new DC universe. And I think Fantastic Four is just confirming that Marvel's brand is still strong. but also people are more selective with the movies they watch from Marvel. They
That's
didn't
fair.
go see Thunderbolts. They did go see Fantastic Four. That might influence business decisions going forward, I will say.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I'll tell you this: if Fantastic Four can't do it, we know Spider-Man and Doomsday will 1,000% be massive, just mega boatloads. But it'll be very interesting to see what they choose to be that next non-Avenger, non-Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and it also goes back to what Variety was saying, them wanting to make the X-Men movies cheaper, because paying Robert Downey Jr. $80 million to be in a movie is just not something you can do consistently.
Right.
And Superman, I think the highest paid person was Nicholas Hoult, and he made $2 million.
Right.
You know,
Well,
so.
the highest paid person was James Gunn.
James Gunn's paycheck for that movie was insane, by the way. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? You're already the head of the studio. You could have done this as a freebie.
Now, when that man said, I wrote it, I directed it, I produced it, I created the content, I did everything, dog. Y'all gonna pay me.
He got a full paycheck for all of it.
He deserves that money.
You wanna know why I respect it? Because let's say 5 years from now, the DCU starts to destroy itself, James Gunn will happily walk away with a massive boatload of money. He'll say, chuck the deuces up, guys.
I do wonder if Marvel will reconsider doing this again, because they could have moved it in August and probably made a lot more money. I think Bob Iger and Kevin Feige were like, well, we took on Batman and Superman before and we won because Civil War
at the same time.
Right.
I still don't know how they beat it. I will. That is one of the greatest mysteries ever. I will never understand that.
Like a 70% drop second weekend.
You had the peak of Marvel versus.
You're talking about how people felt after they saw the movie. I'm saying the fact that not enough people went to actually go see the movie.
No, that's why I just said 70% drop.
Yeah.
Second weekend is the people who saw Batman vs Superman.
Weirdly enough, BVS made money.
Most
of it.
It made so much. It was almost $1 billion movie. Yeah. Like it made a ton of money.
It just didn't beat Civil War.
And so I feel like
at the time.
Yeah,
I feel like Disney
had Spider-Man in it.
Exactly. That was the glory days, right? We had Spider-Man show up in the MCU for the first time. That was crazy.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I was like,
no, but yeah, I feel like Disney and Marvel were like, hey, we could just do that again. Like, who cares if Superman opens 2 weeks before us? And Superman is still tracking fairly okay this week for it to be like its third, fourth weekend. It's not going to do any damage to Fantastic Four, like, long term, but you'll always have in the back of your head, could Fantastic Four have made $100 million more if it just 100%. Moved back? You know,
it's not a gimme that they would have gotten a shit ton in August, because I do think, again, not competing wise, but I do think Freakier Friday and Weapons are going to take away some viewership from Fantastic Four going into the next 2 weeks.
It's possible.
So I mean, Weapons right now is at 100%. Right? Yes. It's sitting at 100%. And Freakier Friday, regardless of how you feel about that movie, it does have a massive fan base, so it's gonna make money.
Can't wait.
Trayvon.
I will too be there.
I've been missing the podcast to watch it. Boom.
Love
you
it.
Will not be.
Yes, I am.
Your doctor's note.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Okay.
No, but yeah, like if, like I was saying, top of the show, if Disney's happy, I'm happy. The article was like, it performed better than they expected. I'm like, it performed okay. I didn't know, what was their bar then?
Their bar was, hey, they might not like this shit. They were like, we love it. They were like, oh shit, okay, all right, we like it.
It's possible, but like we're in a spot where Warner Brothers is happy with Superman, Marvel's happy with Fantastic Four. As fans, it's all that matters. Like, I don't care what makes what, but hey, as long as they're not bombs, we're good.
Y'all aren't looking to tear everything down, I'm good. All right, we're gonna end on this because I gotta make sure I don't leave this out. Peacemaker season 2, we did have a official trailer.
No, finally.
Go ahead, Joel. Yeah.
I did work on a whole damn presentation for this mural. We're never gonna get to.
No, we are gonna get to the mural. I had
just said we're leaving at this point.
Hear me out first. Gosh,
Joel is right though.
First of all, the mural was still part of what I was going. First, I was gonna do the box office and then end with the mural. But then I saw the Peacemaker, and I'm like, I can tie that into Peacemaker. If you had let me fucking finish,
Yeah, okay.
fucker.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding you.
It was not a reminding I needed.
Yeah, all right.
You know what? Fuck it. Peacemaker's out. We're going to the mural. How about that? Mural. Put it up.
Peacemaker trailer was good.
Yeah, trailer
That's
was
the gist
good.
of it.
It was good.
AJ didn't watch it anyway, so we can move on.
1 month after.
You didn't watch it?
No,
We
I didn't
had
watch it.
Mural.
Go watch it while we do the mural.
I'll wait. It's fine. I'm not
Do
that
you
worried.
really want to taste it?
Oh, look at us. All right, so what happened was
Somebody
Mural-
move the logo, please. Thank you. if
I
possible.
cannot control that part. Unfortunately, we can't get the whole picture because the logos. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is the film. Oh my god, the full mural. He finally dropped it. Remember, we all went to the movies and we saw this mural on the wall in the Hall of Justice, and we all tried to figure out who the fuck was where. That was everywhere. Everyone has now videos based on what we're seeing. Not easy. I remember when I first looked at the mural, I maybe guessed half of this, and some I got wrong, and some I got right. But it was difficult. I will say there's some very obscure characters on this list. But let's go through it. Give me 1 second. All right, so the first one was Sister Symmetry. I thought this would be a character trait, but I don't like. No longer watching, I guess.
Damn.
I don't know. It disappeared.
I didn't even notice he left.
I'm like,
Oh, there
that
you
would be
go.
cool.
I'm still
Oh,
here. I'm still here.
Welcome back, King.
So you're taking. It takes. I feel like you're taking intramural naps in between, just trying to come in and out. Yes, he's like. Anyway, this is what I thought this was Madame Xanadu just based on the way she looked, but I was 100% sure. Turns out she kind of is. She's Nimue Imuri. This character is known as Sister Symmetry, but only when she wears the cloak of Kyra, which is almost like Dr. Fate's helmet. Like the Fate, it's very the Lord of Order type of thing. So when she wears the cloak, she becomes Sister Symmetry. And based on the cards that she's holding, I'm assuming that's the Madame Xanadu version. And I was more or less right on that one. But, this is basically what she looks like. As you can see on the right, the comic book side is on the right, and the mural side, obviously, on the left. So that was the first one. The second one, Silent Night. This one was an easy one, more or less, because I think some people noticed him the first time. So Brian Kent, an obviously medieval superhero from the 6th century. During King Arthur's time, he also fought with the Knights of the Round Table. He was known for fighting against his enemies, but also keeping quiet. So that's why he's known as the Silent Knight. He doesn't talk while he fights to protect his identity, aside from obviously wearing all this giant armor. It was also later implied that Brian was a past avatar of the Hawkeye or a past incarnation of Hawkman. So apparently he may have he is one of the many reincarnations of Hawkman.
Does Kendra know this?
I don't know if Kat. I mean, she might remember because apparently there is a woman who was a reincarnation of Shira. So it's possible if they connect Kendra and Shira, then maybe I don't know.
Interesting.
Depends. I don't know how much of the comic lore they're keeping. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. I'm just giving you comic lore because I have no idea what version they're using for the movies. If we even get to half of these motherfuckers, right? Exoristos, which is basically exiled in Greek. Is an Amazon who was banished from Themyscira. She operated during the Dark Ages around the same time as Kent and all them. She debuted during the Demon Knight series that I never read during New 52. But I do remember seeing her, but not like when I first saw this picture in the mirror, I thought it was Hippolyta. Just off my first guess, I'm like, maybe that's Hippolyta. I have no idea. I've never seen this character. I'm like, oh, it was weird. But yeah, apparently it is Exoristos. So very hard to pronounce the name, but interesting character. And it proves that this is another acknowledgement of the Amazons existing, even though we kind of already know that based on Creature Commandos.
I appreciate any lore on Themyscira we possibly can get.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a character that, if they ever get to it, is on Paradise Lost, and maybe that's what we'll find out. more about her. Maybe I could definitely see her being in that. The Black Pirate, John Valor, former privateer working on a commission from the English king and always working to a strong moral code of justice. He was a superhero pirate. It's very weird, but that's what he was. That's what he was. And I love how very accurate they are to the costumes for the most part, like almost exactly. Obviously, so you can notice that. I'm 100% sure they did it just so it's easier to tell who they are, even though some of these characters are super obscure. But this is one, the John Valor. You have Miss Liberty, Bess Lynn, a masked hero misled during the American Revolutionary War. She worked as a nurse, and then, of course, started wearing a mask and a wig. She's actually naturally a blonde, so she used to wear a black wig. And she's apparently a ancestor of the World War II heroine Liberty Bell, who we will see later. Again, we went through like maybe half of the characters I've already shown you don't have power. That Liberty Bell's one who doesn't have powers. Neither did Brian Kent, the Silent Knight. So that's interesting. They're considered part of the metahuman mural, but okay, maybe that's different in their world.
Is that what it's officially called, a metahuman mural, or is it just a Hall of Justice?
It doesn't. He when he described it, he said it was like the history of metahumans within the last 300 years.
Interesting.
But
I wonder if he just misspoke, because I feel like it's just, this is the Hall of Justice. These are the history of superheroes.
Right, superheroes did that. I think that's probably more or less what it actually is. Because again, there's a couple heroes out here that don't have powers. At least not in canon. So, Whip Whirlwind being one, he does have powers. Max Crandall, born in the 19th century, in 1838, was the scientist that administrated the fort. He made friends with the local Blackfoot king. The shaman of the king gave him this picture that drew a lightning bolt in Max's chest, and that's kind of where he got his powers. And then he devoted the next few years of his life to protect the natives and settlers from the known as the El Wahuda, or the Windrunner. He eventually would discover the Speed Force, and during his first attempt, he jumped all the way to 1890s, and during that time period, he became Whip Whirlwind. That's where he came up with the idea of Whip Whirlwind. So this is him during the 1890s. As you can see through the mural, it's time-based.
Yep.
You can see it. So right now we're in the late 1800s with Whip Whirlwind. So this is around the same time. So Flying Stag was a member of the Wolf Clan in the 15th century. He was by far their best warrior, and knew he would be able to win the contest to become the Royane, the supreme chief of the Iroquois. So the meteorite fell from the sky, which he factored to an amulet that gave him superhuman abilities. That's the amulet he wears around his neck. That's kind of where he gets his powers, where he gives him superhuman strength, durability, flight, and an expanded lifespan.
Is that the same meteor that was close to Vandal Savage, or is it?
Well, that would be a very different time period. But as you can see this was during the 15th century. That was like the caveman.
That was beginning of time era. Just for chat,
but it could still be the same stone, though. It's not
maybe same. I mean, it could be similar or a similar rock. I have no idea. Flying Stag.
It'd be a descendant too, you know. That'd be interesting.
Never know. Well, look, you can see in the picture, you can see the comet, like the meteor falling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question for you guys: do you know any of these people yet? Have we read?
I noticed only two so far.
Okay, I'm like, are these just complete unknowns?
All right. I'm trying to think. I'll go up real quick. I didn't know Whip Whirlwind. Miss Liberty, I knew. I've heard of her. Black Pirate, I knew. I didn't know her. But Silent Knight, I knew.
Yeah, and Silent Knight and Miss Liberty was it for me.
Yeah, that's it. Those two are the only ones I knew. See, I knew Xanadu, but I didn't know her. I never knew the fucking Cloak of Kyra. I never heard of that.
Yeah. And
I read Justice League Dark, so it's been a long time. That's the crazy thing.
Time to revisit.
All right. Fuck. I know the El Diablo. He was in Justice League animated series. Formerly the bank teller, Lazarus Lane was shot during a bank robbery and subsequently struck by lightning. Weird coincidence. He fell into a coma, which he was overcome by the shaman Wise Owl. He was revived with new powers, which he could only access if he was asleep or knocked out, which is, I guess, when he's unconscious, he becomes El Diablo. Lazarus Lane is cursed to be the host of a minor demon, which acts as the spirit of vengeance. Ghost
His
Rider.
powers work like Zenitsu in Demon Slayer. Got it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. El Diablo very much inspired by Zoro, in my opinion, if you can't tell. El Diablo. He was okay. We'll get to him. He was around. He was around during Jonah Hex's time period.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. All right. So Hugo Danner. Now this one was the hardest one to get because I had no fucking idea who the fuck this guy was.
This is also the most generic design, though. This is just a guy.
It is so random. I couldn't figure it out. So I know a couple people said like maybe it was Sam Bradley or it was Iron Monroe. I had no idea who the fuck Iron Monroe was until this week. And then I found out who Hugo Danner was. So apparently, 1994, the scientists, Abednego Danner injected his pregnant wife with an experimental serum. Their son Hugo was born on Christmas Day of that year with superhuman strength, speed, and nigh invulnerability. This character is the adaptation of Hugo Danner, a character from the novel Gladiator by Philip Wiley, published in 1930. Gladiator is widely assumed to be an inspiration for Superman. So this character was apparently an inspiration for Superman. And obviously he's not a DC created character. Like he wasn't there. So they just took over the character and did stories for it. There's even Marvel stories that use Hugo Danner. Because it's based on the novel Gladiator, like we said. But DC did use him. He's also the son. He's the father of the character Iron Monroe, who people thought it was. So that's how they included him into the DC mythology. So everyone thought it was, and they look kind of similar. Only difference is his is more modern day. Not modern day. It's still like the World War II era. But every time you see him in the comic, it looks like he's more dressed in modern day clothing. Whereas as you can see here, this definitely looks more like what you see on the mural. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Much more than what any other characters that came close. That's why I'm like, once I saw this picture and another one, I'm like, that looks a lot more what we're looking at here. And apparently he got killed by a lightning bolt or some shit like that. There's a lightning bolt right behind him. So I'm like, that's even more of a connection.
That's kind of dark to put in the mural, but
I know, but that's a double lightning. There was two lightning bolts too. One was for Lazarus Lane, the El Diablo, and the other one I'm assuming was for Hugo. So the Ghost of Flanders, another character I never heard of in my life. So Rick Graves, American soldier who has been reported dead at Flanders, which is a location, an exceptionally bloody site in World War I. Graves had survived, and when he eventually returned to the U.S., found that he'd be honored as an unknown soldier at the tomb in D.C. Instead of reclaiming his life, he made his odd decision to take up the residence beneath the unknown soldier crypt and battle in secret for his country while wearing a Brody-style helmet and patriotic chest plate. And that is the story. I know he was also a very good pilot and very good at throwing knives. I didn't add that here, but I remember reading that. Good knife thrower and good pilot. That's why I guess the connection with the plane up top. Sandman.
Yes.
This guy, this one you should know. People should know. I mean, if casuals might not. But if you know your DC, you should know Sandman.
Where's the green striped shirt, guys?
Oh, green stripes. That's Wesley Dodds was the Sandman, a golden age mystery with gas gun. He could present to see who remember the JSA. Had a sidekick, Sandy the Golden Boy, who eventually becomes Sand. The character named Sand. Sometime before 1938, Dream of the Endless was imprisoned on Earth and prevented from performing his duties. The universe to right itself gifted many with portions of Dream's power, including Wesley Dodds, who became plagued by extremely with Dream and murder to now rest. He then bought several kinds of gas masks, created the identity of the Sandman for himself, and pursued the criminals that haunted his dreams. So, due to the end, if you watched, anybody that watched Sandman, remember he was captured early on in that series for a couple of, during that time, like it said, the universe, in a way to correct itself, started kind of giving out his powers to different people. And one of them was Wesley, who ended up getting prophetic dreams. And through that, he eventually became the Sandman. That's why there's two of them. Alrighty. Amazing Man, William Everett Sr., Golden Age villain who fought during World War II. After gaining powers and longevity in a laboratory explosion, the lab was attacked by minions of the Ultra-Human Age. You know that guy. And Everett was taken hostage. His powers involved the ability to mimic whatever elements he touches, he became a member of the All-Star Squadron. His powers are actually very similar to what the fuck's his name? Absorbing Man from the Marvel. You guys know Marvel's Absorbing Man.
Oh,
Very similar to him.
so is Ultra Humanite canon to DCU now? Is that what we're setting up here? That'd be
This
crazy.
is only comic lore. I have no idea if Ultra Humanite will become movie lore. I have no idea if that world's going to use him. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Ultra Humanite is a thing, but we'll have to wait and see. This is all comic lore these are backgrounds based on their comic lore. This is the first person I think I noticed, aside from like Wildcat, who was the most obvious. Giovanni John Zatara was the stage magician with the ability to manipulate true magic, who used his powers to fight crime and evil. Zatara's distinctive magical abilities involve speaking in incantations backwards to focus their power. He obviously eventually meets Cinderella, who nursed him back to health after getting hurt in a massive rock slide, and eventually they fell in love and have a daughter named Zatanna. Considering this is around World War II era, right? I'm assuming. I wonder how old Zatanna is going to be.
Gilf Zatanna.
Yeah.
Hey, Liberty Bell. Remember we just talked about her earlier. Liberty Lawrence was a journalist active during World War II, who became Liberty Bell when her abilities are activated by the ringing of the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia as she's connected to the spirit of America. In this state, she gained enhanced strength, speed, and stamina. And I forgot to mention that she is also a descendant of Miss Liberty.
She's connected to the spirit of America.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it, man. It's like, what's his name from Earth X? Oh man, it's Uncle Sam. Remember Uncle Sam? You remember the character Uncle Sam?
Yeah, and her name from The Authority. Dang, I'm blanking out. She's got
Jenny Sparks.
Yes,
she's the Union Jack. She got the British.
That's so weird. Okay,
it's so silly. Yeah. Bullet Man and Bullet Girl. See, when I originally saw this, I thought Bulleteers, but actually, the Bulleteer is who took over after Bullet Man. Bullet Man James Barr is a superhero whose costume is designed like a bullet, having been rejected as a police officer, became a ballistics expert and used chemistry to give himself powers. This included greater muscle mass and brain power, and this gravity regulator helmet that allows him to fly and deflect. Same as they have the same abilities, obviously, because she used the same equipment that he uses, and they were like a superhero couple. I'm assuming this is around now the 50s, maybe. I have to say it's post World War II. It looks like.
I would assume. Also, this is the second Kent in this mural, and I just find that interesting because it was a Superman movie.
It's fair. That's the third Kent. We got Superman, with Clark Kent. Now you have Susan Kent Barr, and you also have Brian Kent, who was the Silent Knight.
Yep.
That's a lot of Kents in this universe. All right. Max Mercury. So this is Maxwell Crandall as well. So he began to join into the Speed Force, and feel that given Speed Force their powers. Repeatedly tried to get to the Speed Force and failed. He continued his superhero career through the years as Lightning, Blue Streak, Quicksilver. He actually did use a superhero name, Quicksilver, at one point. But his first attempt left him in the 1890s, where he created the identity of Whip Whirlwind. So he was Whip Whirlwind. And eventually became Max Mercury during the World War II era. Sometimes called the Whirlwind of the West. He often would team up with other speedsters, including the original Flash, Jay Garrick, and Johnny Quick. Actually, Johnny Quick was also the eventual husband of Liberty Bell. Yes. They're a couple, they have a child. Yes, that kind of thing.
I also like just the detail of the first time we see him in the mural. He's in his set stance. Yeah, now he's taken off. That's a fun little detail.
That is funny. And you got TNT and Dan the Dynamite. That is an odd. Yeah. So TNT and Dan the Dynamite are the chemistry teacher and track coach Thomas and Tex Thomas and his student Daniel Dunbar. While working with radioactive salts, they discover they are charged with atomic energy. Thomas is charged with positive energy, while Dunbar is charged with negative energy. Thomas makes a pair of rings which keeps energy dormant until they are touched together, at which point the pair gains enhanced strength, speed, and resistance to injury, and the ability to generate different forms of energy. Thomas can generate heat, while Dan can generate bursts of electricity. They actually have pretty powerful abilities. Really. So that is TNT and Dan and Dynamite.
Martian Manhunter copied the whole look.
They fucking did, right? The color scheme ripped off completely. Maybe it's around the time that he came to Earth. Who knows?
Maybe. It's like, that's my influence.
That's my look. I like that look. I like those colors. The Phantom. Now I think we're like in the 60s, 70s. This has to be around the 70s. She looks like she's from the 70s. Phantom Lady is a superhero who was usually a member of the Freedom Fighters. Yes, that's where I knew her. I literally saw her legs in the theater. I remember turning over to Jawan and going, I think I saw Phantom Lady's legs. And I swear to God, I was like, the only thing I caught aside from Wildcat in the whole mural was that. And I was right. It ended up being Phantom Lady after all. I thought we'd see more of the team of Freedom Fighters, but I guess seeing Uncle Sam on here would be kind of weird. But here we are.
She not the legs.
She fights crime using martial arts and variety of high-tech gadgets that give her control over light spectrum. She used a black light projector, a device that allowed her to blind her enemies and make herself invisible. She also drove a car whose headlights also projected black light when necessary. Her alter ego is Sandra Knight, the daughter of U.S. Senator Henry Knight. I'm assuming that's why it is office building right there. The Phantom Lady. Then you have the Atomic Knight. Okay, the Atomic Knight is Gardner Grail, featuring soldier and leader of the Atomic Knights. They were nuclear-powered medieval suits of armor and battle Black Baron in the post-apocalyptic future. The suit of armor grants him enhanced strength, speed, and endurance, blast energy as well. This, I don't know how to explain this. Obviously, he might come from an alternate future, or he could just come from a really fucked up place somewhere else. I have no idea. But the Atomic Knight being a character canon to this universe, even though he was technically from a post-apocalyptic future, is interesting. Weird, but interesting. Yeah. Freedom Beast. This was one that caught Trayvon's eye earlier. Freedom Beast Dominic Ndaway in Dalway. I like that. It's an activist who was arrested for opposing apartheid while he was rescued by the Animal Man and Bwana Beast. Ndaway's predecessor, future mentor, Maxwell gave Ndaway's elixir. Hellman points him as his successor. Freedom Beast drinks the elixir, gives him superhuman strength, speed, hunting, tracking. He also wears the ancient helmet to help communicate with animals. And the weirdest power of all, merging them to form chimeras. That is an interesting. I mean, I remember Bwana Beast from the cartoons.
Yeah.
So they can do the same shit. So,
do we think he would be in like an Animal Man series? I know jokingly it was floated to James Gunn on the Seth Meyers show, but he didn't turn it down.
He did it. I'm not the biggest animal. I know a lot of people, especially that I forgot which book it was. It was very highly touted. I've never been a big Animal Man guy. I don't know why. Just never, and I love animals, so it always intrigued me, but I can never get into them. I always preferred characters like Dixon or Beast Boy or even Bwana Beast and now Freedom Beast.
What time period do you think this is?
80s. I'm thinking maybe 80s or at least late 70s, something like that. In my opinion, that's wrong. Because if you look at this, I think this is like around the 70s too. 70s around here.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking
it stops being less obvious the further you get. So it's like, I'm lost now until we get to present day.
Well, that's why when you get over here, hold on one second.
Wildcat. Oh. This is what I know. I haven't said this in a while. This is one of the ones I know.
This is what?
I said this is actually one of the ones I know. I haven't said that in a while. It's been a minute.
I know. This is the only one I think most people caught. So I tried to find a picture that got close to it. Wildcat's one of my favorite characters in DC, period. Easily my favorite JSA member. It's like the man that won't die. So Ted Grant is just a boxer who was framed for death of his opponent. To fight back, he became the Wildcat and has been fighting ever since. So during World War II, Ted became a member of the JSA and the All-Star Squad. He was one of the many combat instructors sought out by Bruce Wayne on his path towards becoming Batman. He also taught Dinah Lance and Selena Kyle. Originally, Ted was only a common mystery man. Later, retconned established he had some powers like resurrection, decelerated aging and some enhanced vision. The resurrection then caught me off guard because I'm like, I didn't think he had powers at all. But then I guess that makes sense. This man has been alive and is still, well, he actually just recently died again. But he's been alive since the World War II, and he's still technically alive and fighting people. So he should be definitely dead. So that's why I'm like, there's got to be something up with that. Who knows?
I can't remember which book it was, but it was like he essentially has like 9 lives.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
what it is. He has 9 lives. Only way to actually kill him is like you have to kill him consecutively. You have to like continually kill him for him to not come back, or else he'll just keep coming back, which is weird. I forget he got it from during one mission with the JSA. It's weird. Weird if they go with that direction. I don't know. It looks like this might be the 80s. At the very least, this might be the beginning of that. I have no idea. They might move JSA all the way over to the fucking 80s. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but
it would make sense because it's weird to say, but Superman is a 90s baby.
There's a lot of weird. There's a lot of moving things around. Like, do the JSA exist at all? Sandman's an original member. He's all the way in the World War II era. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of I don't know. Oops, sorry. And you got Vibe. People know Vibe from the Flash series. That's his Ramon. But nobody does. He manipulates warp waves. He is best known in the comics for being part of the Justice League Detroit and the first member to be killed in action.
Damn, they killed their Vibe. Crazy.
Sadly, yeah, it didn't last long. But he did make a comeback in the New 52 in JLA, Justice League of America. He was in that. I do remember that. And I like the costume update. And then he definitely got more popular, obviously, as they made him a character in Flash. So that was fun. Gunfire. This guy looks like he stepped out of the 90s. Gunfire, Andrew Van Horn is one of the new blood heroes in there, created by the Bloodlines. Parasites, he could agitate atoms, destabilizing them and cause them to explode. Basically, what he can do is he's carrying guns, except on that side. It looks like that's a wrench. He can take any object and make it a gun. That's what my goodness. Yeah, it's almost like Gambit, except he can shoot shit with a random object. Doesn't matter what it is.
So let me get this straight. He turns it into a gun, or he turns it into ammunition. Like if Gambit takes the cards and they explode, is he taking shit?
Right?
Okay.
This he can take it, charge it up, and shoot energy from it.
It's okay.
Like anything, no matter as long as it's like an inanimate object, he can do it.
It can be a marshmallow.
Yeah, there's actually one costume with him wearing a trench coat that looks very similar to Gambit. He looks crazy like Gambit. It's insane.
This is interesting.
And obviously, like I tried to find a pocket picture to match, and that exists. I just couldn't find a good one, and it covers his hair. So I'm like, at least that looks more like him, at least on the face area. But he does actually wear all these pockets when he fights Deathstroke. There's a series where he fights Deathstroke.
Full on Rob Liefeld image. Gotcha.
Absolutely. Weird 90s kid. Definitely see it right there. And then there's Maxwell Lord. Again, when I first saw this picture, I didn't think that was Maxwell Lord because that's Maxwell Lord. But again, Maxwell Lord in the movies, in this movie, looks just like that. So that's fair. And the Lord Tech building in the background. Fair. All right, I get that. I didn't realize that the first time. What caught me off guard was the fucking thing in his hand.
Yeah.
Because everyone should know Maxwell Lord by now. He's sleazy businessman who does have psychic abilities, may have persuasion abilities. Has been an ally of the League, as he's been a liaison and funder of the League before, Justice League International specifically, and it eventually became more of a villain with Wonder Woman, who eventually who he actually kills in the comics. Ted Cord. And then later on is killed by Wonder Woman. She breaks his neck.
Oh, Wonder Woman is a murderer. Ooh.
She does.
Trayvon's back. Called it. No, but like, why is he holding a neutron? That's the thing that threw everybody off.
If you look close enough, do you not see like a reddish thing on the neutron?
Right.
So when I first I thought it was the atom.
That's what I thought.
That makes sense. But like you're right, this being the end of the mural, and we're in Lord Tech and the buildings back there. Like I get it, but it's also like why is just have Maxwell Lord stand in front of the building? Him holding the neutron is what's making this
The
confusing.
neutron is what's fucking me up. Absolutely. I don't know. Maybe that I don't know. I have no idea. Why is he holding the neutron? I don't understand it. To me, every time I see that logo, not a logo, but the Atom logo looks a lot like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm like, and it looks like he might be in there. Maybe he's shrunk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That one bothered me because I'm like, why would we be holding that like that? It just doesn't make sense. Hopefully that gets explained one day. But that is the end of the mural. Here we are. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
We learned a lot of DC history, and it's just insight of these characters that existed predating Superman. That's cool. I don't know if we'll actually see them, but
yeah, apparently, according to James Gunn,
Whoa.
2 of them are in some script that they're doing. 2 of them. So, like, which 2? I have no idea. I mean, I don't know.
Which 2 would make sense together? I guess is the question.
The 2 of them.
Yeah,
that's the
I feel
thing.
like it's going to be separate. I think one of them is going to be one of the Amazonians. Then the other one might be.
Oh, so 2 in 2 different scripts,
Like,
not
I
2
could
in the same
definitely
script.
see Exoristos in the fucking Paradise Lost, like I told you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you have 2 members of the JSA classically with Wildcat and
We already have
Sandman.
Maxwell. We already seen Maxwell Lord, so
We see Maxwell Lord already. That's fair. Hopefully, it doesn't count.
I hope Maxwell Lord doesn't count. That's
maybe Black Cat.
Wildcat.
Wildcat. Sorry, yeah, Wildcat.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It
I
might
have no
be
idea.
connected to the Batman stuff if we get that. When we get that.
Wildcat and who? There's 2. Sandman.
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Ooh, I mean, possible.
I mean, I swear, Giovanni knew his parents.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I figured. I mean, I don't know.
That's if he doesn't become. If he becomes Dr. Fate, then he's basically immortal if he has the helmet. So.
And Dr. Fate fucks. Let's go Zatanna.
That could happen. There's a lot of possibilities.
You guys are in charge now, by the way.
Do we have any? Oh yeah. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about, or are we good to go?
I mean, I'm
Don't
good.
want to talk about
If you guys-
Peacemaker?
Yeah, if you guys want to just talk about the trailer, you can do that.
What trailer?
Peacemaker.
Oh. Yeah, I'll go for it.
No, we're gonna go for it. Let's go for it then.
I'll go for it.
Go for it.
So what you think about the trailer? Do you think? Here's a question for people who you didn't see the trailer yet, right? AJ,
I didn't see it yet.
Okay, you didn't watch the trailer. For people that did watch the trailer, do you think the new universe that he goes to with the new Peacemaker is the current DC universe?
To me, that makes the most sense. Like, if we wanted to close the loop, it makes sense that Peacemaker season 1, he's going from DCEU canon to DCU canon, but I'm pretty sure James doesn't want to acknowledge the DCEU ever again, and so that's why he's like, "Oh, parts of this actually happened, parts of this didn't," type thing.
Right.
So I think probably not. I don't think that's what's happening.
I think that's why I'm like, I don't know how he's going to explain it then if he doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that happened there and that happened here. Then that's my thing. Like, well, what did happen? What happened on that universe? So I don't know. I don't know.
It's weird because it made it more confusing somehow. You know, like
it did.
I feel like this would have been straightforward. It's like, oh, it's a multiverse story that's convenient. He wants to live in a new universe, so he wants to live in the DCU. That's cool. But James' comments outside of the trailer, it's like, okay, so we're telling a multiverse story, but not taking advantage of the fact that we're telling a multiverse story. Interesting. So I mean, I trust him as a writer. I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah,
but
maybe there's a Maybe it makes more sense after we watch it, but
Yeah.
after the fact, I'm like, what? What world is he the hero? Is the slogan for the new season. So it's like,
I mean, but that's also like, which Peacemaker did we see in Superman? You know, because like he was invited to a talk show and he was like,
yeah,
He was.
talk shit, right? And what version of the like he has the interview with the Justice Gang?
yeah,
What universe is that in? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
is that in the new one or in the old one? Like, what?
Isn't Peacemaker season 2 after? Like I think it was
Superman. He said it's
after.
directly after Superman. Like he said, a couple months, right? Some shit,
Yeah.
3 months, something like that.
Mm.
So not long after is this show. So it's like,
Hopefully, all will be explained because right now,
I
I
hope so.
think
Very
the
confused.
Peacemaker that was in it was that alternate Peacemaker. That
So
she said
alternate
that
Peacemaker.
she
was
said
in
that's the
Superman.
perfect.
yeah, the alternate Peacemaker that is the universe's Superman.
Okay, remember she said that this Peacemaker has everything you want. It's like has a perfect life.
Yeah, like the one that's on TV. It's like clearly that's
Yeah.
not John from the last season.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put that guy on TV.
So,
Yeah.
He looked like him though. That was he was wearing the classic, the one from our universe or the DCU version costume,
That's fair.
not the hero version. So I'm like, I don't get it.
It was a good trailer though. Like I'm excited to
It
see
was
what
a great trailer.
where the show goes. But yeah, like continuity stuff is just so
Because I don't
muddled.
see what he's saying in terms of what's canon and not canon. My problem is like, are we just gonna ignore the shit that happened in season 1? Is that what you're trying to get us to do? Like, just,
Heck
Yeah, he
yeah.
actually dropped a video today talking about that. Did you guys see it?
yeah, I did. I saw it.
And it's like,
Like,
so
I understand-
whenever we talk about it, it's canon.
It's canon.
And it's like, dude. And I was talking to other friends earlier today, and it's like, do they need to just go back and edit the show? Because
Or he's just gonna say, you don't have to go back. I'm gonna explain everything in season 2. But if you do go back, only the shit that we talk about is canon.
yeah, I think I shared the tweet with you guys today in our Discord server of like, it was Warner Brothers, and they were like, there was a like 80% spike in views of Peacemaker because of the Superman movie, and I'm like, so many people are watching that Peacemaker show for the first time, and they're gonna see freaking Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller at the end of that season,
You're like, wait,
and
what?
be confused. And it's like, would it be in the studio's best interest just to cut that cameo out?
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yep.
yes.
Tomorrow we're gonna get a new episode about episode 3 and what's canon in episode 3. Because the last 2 episodes, basically the only shit that has not been canon in the first 2 episodes is the popularity of Aquaman overall, and the idea that Batman exists. We don't know if that's a thing yet. That's it for the first 2 episodes. Everything else is canon. Now we're moving on to episode 3.
It's, you know, as much as I love Superman, it's this moment that is too much. James is just doing way too much.
Especially
He just
if
really
it's like,
he really want to keep this character really bad.
But my thing is like, if it really is just ignore what happened, like we just ignore it. It's not a new universe. Just ignore it. Like that never happens. Like, that's eventually how they explain it. It's pretty fucking crazy, especially when you're introducing a new universe. But
Yeah.
whatever, c'est la vie, and we move on. That's all I have. You guys have anything else?
I'm good.
We lost Juwan. So we definitely
Juwan said good night.
3 hours. It's crazy.
Killed our vibe.
So Juwan said he'll be back, but that was like a half hour ago. Only
Yeah,
20
he wasn't coming back. You know.
Oh yeah, he said when you're done.
Mhm.
I'm not coming back. He said when you're done, finish without me. There you go. All right, so let's wrap it up. That was fun. That was long, but it was fun. Good shit, guys. We'll talk next week. Yeah, anything coming up? Is there anything big coming?
We got Wakanda project to talk next week.
Oh fuck yeah. I was gonna talk Friday. Anything else?
Chief of War is Friday. Can't wait.
What is it?
Oh, Chief of War.
Oh, Chief of War. Yeah, Chief of War coming out. The
I'll
next
watch
episode,
that
the last
Tuesday, but we'll
episode
talk
of
about
Sandman officially is also coming out.
Sadly.
Did you know this? I don't know who watched Sandman. Anybody watch Sandman here?
I am on episode 3.
Okay, You're on episode 3? I don't want to spoil it.
I don't care. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
I already saw who's in it. That's why I don't care.
Already?
Yeah.
Trayvon. Now I'm hurt. Like, that was a fun surprise. I love that. I didn't know anything about that until I saw it. That was so cool.
I followed the hell out of him, so I was like, well, okay, good for you. So yeah,
I will say I'm happy that they gave him at least a white.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he looks cool.
Yeah, usually it's long white hair, but I'm cool with them. Just whatever, that's fine. I was very happy to see him. I was like, oh shit, cool. Daniel's he's the new Sandman. That's cool. Anyway,
I don't know how we get there. I have no idea. So,
but that's why I was gonna explain it, but now,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you watch it, and I'll explain it next week.
I'll be caught up next.
Well,
right,
yeah, I
if I'm here next
week.
We'll see if I get home in time for this podcast. We'll see.
You have several days. You'll catch up.
No. I'm talking about Freakier Friday is at 6:00.
He's telling you he's not gonna be here.
Oh, that's right. We'll talk about it on later when you finish.
Okay.
I'll explain all the weird connections to the actual DC universe, which is pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
You really could connect the Sandman to the DCU.
I mean, there's ways. They definitely did their own.
Even if there are ways, we know James Gunn is not a fan of connecting stuff to this universe unless he wrote it himself.
That is true, but I can wish.
That's fair. All right, guys.
All right.
Oh, wait. Before you do your thing, where can they find you?
I'm on the internet.
Everybody's so dead.
We're on the internet right now, by the way. So I think we caught on to that.
Y'all see my name on the screen. I don't know.
Nerd with the tech. Go follow him. TikTok, Instagram,
it's behind me and
all
on
the same.
and right there, wherever. Look, find me. I don't know.
For the people with vision impairments, it's at Nerd with the Tech.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. add an underscore on the TikTok at the end of it.
There you go. Next,
Somebody stole my name.
Mike, you up?
Mike.
Novice Cinephile everywhere. The Novice Cinephile on Instagram and Threads. And yeah, Chatter After, Insider Chatter, podcast wherever you get your podcasts, we're over there. Talking news. Don't know what the news is yet because it hasn't happened yet, but tune in Monday on the Chatter After and we'll be there discussing it.
AJ?
You can find me at I am Valzad at nowhere.
I'm about to say that's not real. Liar. Good luck. Basically said good luck finding me.
Y'all won't find me. I'm about to delete my Twitter and my Instagram. I'm about to be a ghost.
My tag right there. I'm Joel Twitter 27 on Instagram, Twitter. I'm not even on Facebook anymore. Fuck it. So like,
you guys can find Joel somewhere. He left, so he doesn't get a shout out.
That's it. And I'm here. I'll be here next week. Thank you for whoever lasted this long. Thank you for lasting this long. Jesus Lord. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Good night.